So, all right. Welcome everybody to Streams of Sparrow. I never remember what episode we're in.
21.
Is it 21 now? Nice. Get everything posted. All right, so that's of course Rico. We are doing straight from YouTube. He's deep down in Texas enjoying the snow, which he thought he left for Maine.
Snow's all gone.
Shit.
What was it, like 70 degrees or some such nonsense I heard?
Today? No, it was like, for us, it was only like 50, but snow's all gone.
All right,
We're back to normal.
Jake is with us playing, of course, Alarian / Firebrand. Lee Winneka playing HK. We are joined by our newest member to the cast because we have lost John, unfortunately, due to life, and he will be playing a character be named, which you can probably see it as Zindred. We'll explain who that character is. We are seeing if maybe Matt will be joining us at any time soon. We don't know what's going on with him, but we wanted to get the show rolling. And so that will leave you guys, if we would recap, you had captured the priestess to one of the houses. And I can tell you that one, who it was. I think you caught Vixette from the 4th house. And chased her her brother away. You were deciding, you have agreed to let Ubenn, I believe, lead you into the 1st house. And then I think you were kind of deciding if you were going to do some sneaking around to try to isolate members or just parlay. I think that was where you guys were at. So you guys can decide how you wish to continue that conversation, because I would like to kind of get you into that position as you choose. Ubenn does seem like the best way in without conflict, but is what you do in the 1st house. That is a decision up to you guys.
Tactically, the closer we get to the house, if we end up going to arms, the better. The less minions we have to fight through, the easier it will be to stop the ritual, to take the item if need be, and then go. So whatever gets us as close as possible with the least amount of conflict, the least amount of alarm is probably the best method.
All right. So are you going to let Vixette go? Did you guys do that? I don't recall. Let her get back to the house. I think that's what you did.
Well, we hadn't decided yet. We were
debating
on the overall options. And kind of in part of that options list was, do we look to take down the house, or do we look to just stop the ritual, preserve the house? Because if we let her, the argument was, if we let her go, what happens? Does she stay on our good side? Do we team up with her? Does she, wait until we do our thing and then she goes in with her house and try to eliminate the 1st house? It was, there were a lot of variables on the table. And I don't think we came to a hard decision on which way we really wanted to lean.
Remember, Ubenn will not stand with you if his family members come to harm. So that
Right.
was some of your decisions started to waffle, because he will get you in, but then as he was honor bound, but then once his family becomes in danger, he will turn on you, and he has told you that.
And that's obviously the difficult part of this, is we formed a bond, so to speak, with Ubenn, and now we're dealing with his house, his family. That makes things a little
awkward.
A little awkward.
Firebrand, do you have the ability to make this captive sleep for a long period of time?
I don't have sleep or anything like that.
Look to Pepper and ask, do you have anything that could help us incapacitate her for a lengthy period of time?
The back end of my sword.
Yeah, besides probably giving her a blow to be unconscious.
They give her CTE, and that would like
she is that
put her down for a
well,
while.
you can't put her to sleep
Yeah.
by magic. It's a hard blow. It is physical blow or not.
So we're kind of in a tough position without our full priorities.
Uben will let you know if you do let Vexek go, all you do is the good thing is you keep the fourth house not against you.
Right.
If they're not likely to attack the first house because they're weaker, unless the other houses join in or you have done damage that allow them to be opportunistic to that matter. So if nothing kind of happens in the first house that gives an opportunity, letting her go doesn't really no other damage besides she will not likely ask, or her mother won't actually look to be hunting you actively while you're even in the first house. Like she may supersede the danger to it to get her revenge to her only daughter.
So as long as we stay focused on the mission, which is stop the ritual, and we leave as little harm as absolutely possible, we should not encounter any difficulty with this one.
Yes.
Then that makes the tactical piece of this decision much easier. We let her go.
Yeah.
It does us no tactical good to harm her. We don't have the ability to incapacitate her, so there are some dangers. But since we can't mitigate them without creating more dangers, we might as well let her go. What say you all?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I agree.
When it comes to tactics, I always look to you, HK. So I think, especially if you think it's the best tactical decision, that sounds good to me.
It's not
No.
a tactical decision that I enjoy, but it is the best option.
I agree with that. The only caveat ends up, what is our decision on how we're going to try to stop this ritual? Because if that decision includes a potential large scale battle with the first house, then letting her go could endanger the entire family, because they would more than likely strike either while we're in combat or immediately after, as a opportunistic third party.
Ubenn, allow me to ask this question. If you are able to sneak us in and we can get to the area where this ritual is, what are the odds of us dealing with a family member versus guards or staff of the house?
You're more likely going to deal with at least any one of the priestesses. I mean, I would say 99%.
And I do know you will not stand by to watch them harmed, or certainly not join in to watch them harmed.
I will defend my family, yes. I will not try to do harm to you, but I will incapacitate you to that end. But I do ask, and to throw the perplexity at you, these other houses are against my family. I know what I was sent to do, but I have never heard of this. I do feel that it's worth investigating before we think of blades.
Think
I'm
what's
willing-
worth investigating?
How do we go about investigating it?
HK can deceive in some aspect with disguise, but give me the opportunity to talk to him. Remember, I thought we did discuss that we were going to come in as something was wrong with the vampire that I served,
Yeah.
and then use that to inquire on what was going on, and we did not have to use too much gimmicks or magic to deceive my grandmother, because I doubt my mother that would be difficult to do, and with my sisters around. So if we can figure out from that clever type of banter and dialogue onto this, maybe we can find out why she has disrupted all this power, because it does to me. I am Dark Elf and Drow. She had the power. She was the first house. She is the grandmother of all. There's no need for this. If you have power under Loth, you have power. It is about keeping that power and destroying and controlling the houses below you. This does not seem right.
I am I am convinced that we should be able to talk and find out if there's another way around this. Get into information about where the ritual is being held and find some way to disrupt the ritual permanently or destroy the opportunity for the ritual. I'm perfectly willing to use whatever guys we have to, whatever guile is required to the best of my abilities, and towards that end. However, at some point, it will not necessarily be met by their restraint. And what I can assure you is, if in a fight it is with, and you have identified a family member, I will not fight to kill, but I will have to fight to incapacitate.
Understood.
I feel that we should all make that agreement.
Pepper agrees. Vivian will agree with you quickly.
Agreed.
I will
Jew?
do whatever is necessary to fulfill the mission, keeping all variables in mind. But I can't make any promises when it comes to the battlefield.
Okay. And Lesky will, I guess, agree as well.
Is there any possibility of persuading them that going through with the ritual would actually be more detrimental to their house, to their family, and to the realm in general?
My
Do you think-
grandmother is a very smart person. If you do have something viable, I believe she would listen. She may.
Does anybody have enough information on Silk, who they're trying to summon, and the history of what that could lead to? That might be able to persuade her.
And our knowledge of Silk is fairly rudimentary. We're not exactly experts on the subject.
You've been
We know what we
pushed by weird twist of fate, so to speak.
I mean, we know what little we learned from the tapestries where they were trying to do the other ritual, but
And the
and we
fate
learned some in the Fae. Yeah,
wanted you to stop it.
Perhaps the goal is not to convince a matron mother. Perhaps the goal is to convince Ubenn's sisters.
Yeah,
They
one
certainly
sister.
would be. They'd
If the-
certainly be more.
He has one
Persuadable.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has one sister that follows Silk with his mom. The other two, though, follow the Raven Queen and Tiamat, so they might be. Maybe we could convince them to go against their mother and this whole Silk ritual to. I think they do have. I mean, I'm not an expert on the Drow, but these are my first encounters with them. But I think I've heard that they can be, want to reach that higher level. They are competitive and want to reach a higher station. So maybe one of those daughters that follow the different gods will has a problem with following Silk now and might want to become
Well, maybe that's.
the head of the family.
Maybe we take that as the first option. Is
Windows.
I mean, we could see what Ubenn thinks of this. He's right here.
There are sinisters amongst my people, but family is family. As you can see by my ways, my sisters are even more. They may worship another goddess, whatever
But
that
they're
is,
not gonna. Yeah.
but they will not betray my mother.
Well, it's not necessarily betraying. It's just trying to. It's trying
No,
to get them to realize that
It would be
Going
to
the way
them.
of
They're not gonna.
it's just. I don't look at it as
It
betrayal.
would be betrayal to them.
It's
It's not
convincing
how
them.
you look at it, though. It's how they look at it. And if
Nah.
Ubenn doesn't think that's how they'll look at it, then I think that's the more important factor of the decision. If he thinks they're going to look at it as betrayal, then we have to go with that, not how you would look
But
at
they've
it.
got to be, I mean, there's got to be some sort of, if his whole family hasn't gone the way of following his mother in the path of Silk, then there's potential there.
Yes, but why, Jew? Every other daughter of a matron mother in all the houses follow Loth. Why did my mother switch from Loth, who gave her all the power, to Silk, and then have several of her daughters choose different gods?
Is it
Won't-
possible she is cursed or bewitched in some fashion?
I don't know. And again, this does not make sense to even me. But there's something I feel that would.
won't
Welcome.
I
won't
think
the
you-
other house?
I
Won't the
think
other
Ubenn
house?
has some. I think
priestesses?
Ubenn's onto something there.
Won't the other house priestesses that follow Loth kind of take umbrage to the fact that Ubenn's family isn't following Loth anymore, and won't they try? They might be more pushed to take over and to defeat his family because they want to become that first family, and because it to gain favor with Loth.
That's what Vic said.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
other houses now
They all
ready to strike against my house.
they want to
Yeah,
gain
but
the favor of Loth by defeating somebody who doesn't follow Loth anymore. Yeah.
How is
But that's an interesting point, though. Why would being in the first house, being kind of the top of the
Food chain.
the food chain,
The hierarchy.
why would you step away and turn your attention to something completely different outside of what's norm? It almost sounds like there could be speaking of third parties, it almost sounds like there could be something influencing his mother that caused that decision.
There's
So
whatever is
given that-
pushing it. Whatever's pushing it is making her feel comfortable enough to know that doing it is going to put the target on her family, and that all the other houses are going to be after them because of that decision. But she feels comfortable in doing it and not worrying about the other.
Which is that's a
houses.
huge ask to potentially sacrifice your family, your clan, your house. That's a huge ask. So that's heavy influence.
Or whatever it is makes her comfortable enough that she doesn't think she's sacrificing her family and her house because she thinks that it's that much more power that she doesn't have to, that she's not sacrificing anything.
No, we are close in family, but as Jew has mentioned, in Drow society, it is easier to have the houses divided because we can conspire the web to make them believe that another house is ready to jump on them before they jump on us. My mother's move to take on the goddess Silk has done what you would never tactically do. I am a war master. You have now aligned every possible enemy to a sure enemy. She has given them the greatest amount of numbers and a unified cause to put the house in the biggest danger has ever been. That is why I am intrigued. I am curious. I have to know why she had chosen to put our house in this position. And not everything I thought we had been told may have been true about this ritual.
Who is?
It's also possible that she believes in the strength of the Lich's army and the Winter Queen's Fae. I don't know if she has an army or what, but the power and personnel that the Winter Queen can bring may, in her opinion, be enough to bolster her family and stand up against the rest of the Drow city.
And it could all be a web of lies spun by Silk in the first house to cause chaos now so that they are the first to fall.
Loath is of the lies, though. It is her mastering that I don't think Silk is clever enough against Loath.
But Silk has to have some sort of tie to this realm to be able to influence to that effect.
Never heard of this.
So
I don't know what I don't know what follows.
I don't
Well,
either, but
the Lich Dark Sun follows Silk and is involved in all this too. So she has influence in the world
Yes,
already.
which we know was to do with this ritual. But I
And
don't
that's
know her.
been our impetus for wanting to stop her, is that a lich is wanting to bring her into the world.
Yeah. Dark Sun, that son of a bitch.
So we assume the evil that he wants to bring into the world is just as evil.
or worse. At this point, I think we are resolved to sneak in. We are resolved to use guile, and we're resolved to have Ubenn attempt to get us information that will help us disrupt and stop the ritual while finding out some of these intricacies. Our goal is to stop the ritual, not to destroy this family. And as long as we are all fast bonded to that concept, I think we should spend less energy trying to figure out the millions of possibilities as to why and go find the answers and know.
I think the initial insertion, like you said, should be stealthy, but it should be more fact finding than making the initial moves to stop the ritual. Because if you go in, or if Ubenn goes in and whoever goes in with him, might be able to grab some more information to make it easier to stop the ritual. But I'm getting the strong sense that there's definitely a heavy outside influence that's causing this. And it might not be as simple as going in, getting the amulet, and getting out. Sure, that'll delay things. But if we go in that quickly and stop it, it might not give us the full breadth of answers that we're looking for. So I don't know who plans on going in with Ubenn. I know HK, you said you can potentially go in with him,
You
but
can
You can
you
all
can change.
go. You can all go. All Ubenn has to say is you are from the vampire that he served.
okay. Well, then it's more or less once we get in outside of Ubenn, we should limit on who does the talking. Because as Oleski will attest, not all of us are good at lying and subterfuge. So
I think you're pretty good at lying. It's being deceptive and attempting to guile and act different than you are that I don't think you have much practice with.
agreed.
Yeah, I'm not good at deception either.
But I
Not when
I
I
don't-
open my mouth.
I don't think our initial steps should be information gathering and then potentially regrouping and then deciding if we're going to go through with how we're going to stop the ritual. I don't think we should compile all that into this one first initial entry.
Well,
It might get complicated.
as we've discussed before, we stopped the ritual by removing the physical component of the ritual that we can put our hands on.
But again,
and-
that might not be enough. If there's a third party influence that's causing Ubenn's family to turn towards Silk, we need to figure out who that third party is. And she might have that
The
answer. She might have that
Well,
information.
that might be that's probably secondary to stopping the ritual because we need to stop that.
Practically speaking, we need to take an opportunity if it's granted. We follow Ubenn's lead. If the opportunity is available to stop it, we stop it.
Okay.
Any information we get along the way, we will attempt to follow through and take. But once we've stopped the ritual, the faster we get out, the less chance we have of being in a situation where we have to harm Ubenn's family to get out.
This is
Yeah,
really
once we-
all about speed.
Once we stop the ritual, it's feats don't fail me now. We gotta go.
Then I will go back to what I said in the previous night, that Aleron, you have the ability to return to the Fae quickly. You are the primary to get hands on the amulet and get out.
We do have to watch out for Ubenn's brother, who can stop the scroll from being
Correct.
used.
But I'm basically giving you permission. If you can get that amulet and flee, do not worry about me.
Firebrand.
Well, I think it could bring everybody back.
If you can, perfect.
If you're around me, even if you're fighting somebody, you're
Firebrand.
not going to be there anymore.
Can your wall, can your magic wall stop Ubenn's brother from casting against us or preventing us from leaving?
Yes, I can dome it around him.
So Ubenn, if you can identify
Or block them off.
your family members that could stop this ritual, Firebrand can use that effect to make it impossible for him to cause impediment to us, thus saving us from having to deal with him altogether.
My brother
Yeah,
does.
it'll
Pardon?
last for 10 minutes.
He has the counter spell ability.
Well, in that case, we may have to take some other action to draw out that ability. And once he's used that, then we can.
And that's
Let us go and investigate tactically. We need to
Excellent.
negotiate. And we'll tell you, if this comes to blows, this is not going to be any easy fight that you imagine. You're talking about high, powerful priestesses and a wizard, all in the ranks. And I don't even know what happened to their children and their training in the last few years that I have been gone.
Understood.
so the biggest takeaway, Ubenn, would be if you can isolate
Yes, I will.
Alaron in the amulet, that's priority.
But remember, I have not been there. The disadvantage we're at right now is I have not been there. There's been
Right.
me.
He's been gone a while.
I can get us in. They know who I am. They know what I've been doing. But for me to get in and get all this assessed information of why and what is going on is what we're completely lacking. We're all making assumptions on paths, but I have no truth on.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be a certain degree of rolling with the punches improvisation, because we don't exactly know what the state of affairs are there.
That, and we also don't know what your family has assumed about you,
Yes,
since you haven't returned in a few months.
which we hope
We don't-
this approach will allow us some opportunity to gain the information for ourselves.
And we don't know if any news of the ritual by the vampire has reached them.
We can learn a lot by this conversation. Let us journey to find out what we can do.
Excellent.
All right. So after
And
that,
my vote is to hold the other priestess until we are well inside, just so she doesn't get out and any extra information gets
Okay.
spread that would be detrimental.
so
So
the
if,
gamblers will hold her until they know that you're in.
yes,
There we go.
but we can tell her that she has our word that we will release her unarmed,
Okay.
for whatever honor that's worth.
All right. So basically, you guys will make the journey in. It's not with Ubenn. You're going to get past a couple of war patrols. They kind of recognize him. He said he's coming back to report. You will get to the gates. It is a obsidian-like surface on all these walls that is carved out into the chamber. Patrolling, purple lights illuminate archers and ballistas that are protecting the area before. There are bridges that lead elsewhere into the Underdark, but you don't know exactly where they lead. The city of Night. God, I'm going to type this out because I wrote it, but I love my elf names. Munaganara is something of the Drow city. Ubenn will tell you it translates to the city of eternal night.
Lovely.
It is the Dark Hills.
As he tells us that, I whisper to Vivian, I thought a night on the town might be nice at some point, but this is a bit ridiculous.
Mm.
Um,
I like many cities, but this one I feel threatened. You go by this, there are amazing estates of manors with, again, you can see that there are probably a number of houses, there are isolated walls. There are many goblinoid forces amongst the dark elves, orcs, goblins, kobolds, bugbears, ogres, even some trolls chained to walls and stuff like that. You can see that they use a lot. There's not many in certain of the other little houses until you get to the center, which is definitely, it must be the first house, House Sinovelia. It is a massive castle, like, that is pretty much surrounded by these high, long walls. Ubenn is able to get you through after talking to some of the guards, but again, ballistas arm the parapets of the castle walls. There are probably hundreds of soldiers, dark elf soldiers around, and you definitely see chain trolls, ogres manning large weapons to throw things at. He gets you through, and in the campment, Ubenn is a little impressed and concerned, but now he thinks he's a little bit more. Thousands of dark elf soldiers have tents lined out with tens of thousands of orcs and goblins and bugbears amongst their ranks.
So the house appears to be on a war footing already.
Yeah, you're military. You could tell that this would be something that a threatened king would do to bring. He's like, so their forces aren't out; they're all internal, which must be why the houses have not attacked any recently. Because if you're going in, you'd have to go through all these numbers of common soldiers and some parts of that. Although it is a dark theme, it is a beautiful, beautiful building. The obsidian is carved by no hand. You can definitely tell that the entire estate has been made by magical means. It is illuminated in every right corner, so there's no way for anyone to hide, because every corner has purple lighting just laced into the corner of these walls. Like, they know, you can tell, or Vivian kind of help you know that if you were trying to sneak in here, it would be impossible. They know, and always feel threatened by an assassin or sneak or something like that. So they made it so it was very hard to do that. He takes you in.
Ubenn, is this how you remembered this place when
Yes.
you left, or is this all
I'd never.
different?
The armies being around, that is more than has ever been stationed here before. Many of them usually are out gathering slaves and resources for the house.
But what about the level of lighting, so to speak?
Yes.
Is that
As
common?
the first house, you do not want assassins from the lower houses
Okay.
to be in. Dark elf assassins are fantastically good.
Is the number of soldiers here common to your house, or
We
Or
have
are there
these
more?
mounting numbers, but they're never here all at once.
We're not gathered.
Gathered, yes.
oh,
This is a
Pepper?
defensive posture, Ubenn?
I'm assuming so. Pepper goes, yes.
As a backup, keep your senses tuned for the portal.
It's here. It's at the top.
Okay.
That said, Ubenn,
That's what I can do. It is definitely here. But it is strange. I almost feel it's a little bit more active than the other.
They might already be in the ritual. Might
No,
already be in place now.
something resonating that's different. Old magic. Ubenn leads you up, and you're going through. You go through several floors, about 6 of them, and then there is 2 very interesting, looks like elite guards. And they go, Ubenn, we have heard that you have arrived. Lord. Ubenn goes, yes, I'm here to see my grandmother to report on some trials that have been happening with the vampire ally that we have. And they go, ah, I see. We'll be welcome. We will be willing to welcome you or escort you all the way to your grandmother. He goes, well, like, not necessary. We can handle this. It's no trouble at all. It's what we do now. The man says, I am Zamith Baneth. I'll handle that. The other here is Aurora Torrent. We'll bring it to them. So this is a male and female dark elf. They have a symbol that also is strange. Some type of, looks like a crow. Or now you're assuming maybe the raven.
The Raven.
And these two members are that. And they look polished. Like the man himself is like a pristine knight that you might find at the dynasties. He is that well gleaned to what goes on with what's going on. The female looks dangerous. She's got that Fangs Port Guild type of aura about her, even though she's got the military guys. You don't feel great about her. And they begin to escort you guys.
So they both look like
Ubenn doesn't
not your
look-
typical Drow. Yeah, but they don't look like your typical Drow. They look like they're taking on, the characteristics and look of other places.
They
Like a
look,
knight and
they
a Mangsport guy.
look like an elite order, is what you're assuming. They don't have the house colors on them. They have this.
Is
They have this raven.
Is there armor? Is there armament, like their armor, their weapons? Are they Drow
Yes,
weapons
They
and
have-
armor? Okay.
they have black plate armor,
Okay.
but they look elite.
Okay. Let's go.
You have a question, Jew? That's perplexing.
Yeah, definitely follow.
Soaking it all in.
Cool. All right. They take you another floor up. You do see about 3 other members of this group, but they don't acknowledge them. They're off standing at some other part of the thing, but really they seem to have the same color scheme as to that. Then you enter a large room.
So are we moving into the tower, like up it? We're going.
Yes.
Wherever possible, Ben, I will be so that there are as few of them behind me as possible.
The other 3 haven't followed. They seem to be confident with the 2 that are leading you.
Okay. All right.
Any chance for conversation, or would the 2 with us hear that?
You don't need to start a conversation, Jew.
Want to? You can move up to Ubenn and back into their ear. They're not side by side, they're leading you, but you can definitely try to engage.
Okay.
You wish to?
No, I'm following.
Yeah.
We are playing the role of servants of Ubenn.
Okay.
So unless he bids us to speak, or bids me to speak, I can't speak for anybody else. I will choose not to speak.
All right. Cool.
Is Ubenn talking to them? Or are they?
No,
is
he doesn't know
asking
who
them
they
any
are.
questions or?
He didn't know who they were, so he's just kind of just following, and he's kind of treating them also like servants, because he is one of the noble born, so he doesn't have to talk to them if he doesn't really want to. And he's kind of choosing The guys are being quiet. He doesn't want to reveal his hand either. All right,
To some extent, we are to Ubenn, or pretending to be to Ubenn what they are to this house, which is hired hands of elite measure.
yes.
Okay.
All right, you go into a large, beautifully room. It's got pillars all around. There's a huge throne. And behind the throne is apparently this gate that you see. Huge arch, very similar to the one you guys met in Fank's Court. The throne sits about 15 feet in front of it, so it is 15 feet behind that. You're in a large chamber about 40 feet. It is one of the dominant rooms of this upper floor to this castle. There are 3 more of these paladins that are nearby. One of them is standing very close to what you can only assume is the grandmother sitting in the throne, which is Hestius. She has one of her other daughter. You can see the other 2 daughters because she looks like a priestess in very much adorned attire, and another one of Tiamat is off to the side as well.
And how many paladins are in this room with us?
3.
5? No? Oh,
3.
I thought there was,
3
yeah, because the 2 that
just
brought her.
walked in with you.
Yeah.
Now there are 5 of the paladins of this raven
Okay.
in the room.
And there are how many outside?
3 more.
Yeah.
That's beefy.
Big thick.
Okay. Also, not to your left, near one of the pillars, and you're standing next to one of the paladins, is who you can only assume is Titorian, the wizard of House Zenovilia. Three other priestesses are off to your right. One looks quite younger than the other 2. And you will walk forward. Zemeth will go, Matron Mother, your son has returned. Ubenn. They will part from the front of you and take position toward the back to the door that you guys came in. So Zameth and Laura are there. So tactically, you are pretty much surrounded in 3-1 position by one of the paladins.
Yay.
If I hear the Reigns of Castamere, we're going off. Okay, I just gotta tell you that. I've seen this before.
Ubenn goes, Mother, it's good to see you. I do not recognize this new house guard. But I have things, and she goes, it is okay, Ubenn. It is okay. Things have unfolded as was promised. I am pleased to see the members of the Knights of the Flame before me. It has been a long journey. Many events have had to transpire to get what I needed. But do not look.
Wait, what?
What?
Wait, what?
Yes. We had to have many things happen for you to be here. You are in need. You are champions. You are
How
not.
may we be of service?
Yes, that is good, Jew. I'm so happy that you are finally understanding. You know who I am? Hestius, Zenovilia of the first house of this great city. I know you are Knights of the Flame, Firebrand, formerly Erlarion, Jew, Xiong, Hephaestus from Forstad, an old enemy of ours, and Aleski, Pepper, Vivian, and of course my son, Ubenn. I have had much to do to bring you here. I know you have many questions, but really, they are not for me fully. But you will benefit. I will benefit from your decisions. But you must see the person, the great master that has brought you forth. Will you Entertain me.
I know you're not sitting at the top of things, so yes, I'll entertain who has more information.
Good. For that, she stands up. She's a beautiful, even for a very old elf, she is still beautiful in every form. She has been cared for and exotic and everything. She just waves, and the throne just kind of dissipates. The gate, all the ruins around it start to light up, and a shimmering field transpires.
I step closer to Vivian.
We need to talk.
I step closer to HK.
We need to talk to the great mastermind of all this, so she may ask for your help. This way. And she goes, Ubenn, your time has been well used. You may stay here. This is time for other members of the house to take care of things. Sindred, please accompany us. And Hesticius will go through the gate.
As you wish.
And
Wait, was that mother or
beautiful-
grandmother?
This beautiful paladin that has been standing this throne will turn and follow it as well. Both of them go into the gate. Do the rest of you follow?
I look at Ubenn.
The fuck, bro?
We follow our bond. I only ask that you follow yours.
Find out what is going on. I will make sure that you come out of that gate. That I vow.
And I turn. I put my spear on away, and I reach out my hand to Vivian, and I say, "Shall we?"
She goes,
Yeah,
I'm imagining many ways to go under a gate with you. This isn't one of them, but I will still follow you.
Yeah, I feel like this is a Banaka moment and get out the comb and
Jew?
the brush and
Okay, Aleska, you do that.
You say Jew?
Jew, would you take my hand and walk through the gate?
Come on, Alarion.
So HK
Banaka.
and Vivian go through. Jew and Alarion, do you go arm in arm?
No, we can just walk side by side. We don't have
Oh,
to
okay.
hold hands.
I'll be right back.
I'm actually going to follow Hephaestus's example here, both for the fact that Pepper is probably the best capable of dealing with a portal, and for moral support. So I'm actually going to take her hand, and if she's going to walk through, I'll walk through hand in hand.
She hasn't left you guys' side, but you can tell she's pretty scared.
For
Okay.
note, I walk through behind HK. Like, I'm like right behind him.
Okay.
So, he's big and I'm behind him. Like,
And to be fair, I'm flexing big time.
So
Attack pattern Delta.
Yeah.
any area affecting besides lightning bolt, you'll be fine. All right. So you guys all enter the gate. Hestius is there with Zindred. They kind of move forward. It is a beautiful field that you're in. Green, tall grass, long erecting flowers. There's a beautiful mountainscape out there, completely different than what you're used to. You smell enchanting aromas of the nature. Hestius kind of like allows you to kind of move forward, taking a step aside, and Zindred is close by to her as you guys step forward. Then a shimmering light, looks like it comes maybe from the mountains from far away. It looks like it's taken forever, but then it doesn't. It's soon there. And then the light, this oval light, starts to take shape and form. And before you stands one of the most beautiful human, dark black, long, flowing black hair all around her, stands before you. She is taller, taking almost 15 feet in height, but you can still see that she is human aspect, but somewhat giant in form. She goes, "Oh, My children, thank you for taking the quest that you have. I'm sorry that you had to lose your leader, but there are events that needed to happen that I needed to bring you here. Please sit. And as you kind of look, all of a sudden out of nowhere, this marble stones in a semicircle form around her and behind you guys, so you all may sit down.
I sit.
Okay.
Close. Front seat.
Suppose you're all wondering, why? Why you? Why me? From here?
Who are you? Wondering a lot of things.
Well, we will talk. I'm glad that you've chosen to do this. I am known as Silk. This is a name I have taken that has remained with me for many, 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 many years. And I have come here to escape and to help, to bring magic, to do wonderful things. But there are rules sometimes, even in magic, that one must adhere to, and it makes life, divinity, all things difficult sometimes. So this is the journey that I had to take, and it brings others along the journey to make it accomplished. Where are you coming? I know what you have told, but I had to give you a story that was dire enough to make you understand that I needed the help, because otherwise you would have never come. And I am indeed tied to the Lich Dark Sun, but not in the way that I told you. In the journeys, in the stories, through the minions, and the rumors, and the effects that I had to do. It is more that the Dark Sun is a counter champion to the one that imprisoned me, who holds control over me, that is obstructing me to be here fully for you. That is the god Hades. If we can remove this champion who has the lock and key, we can free the realm, all of us. And that is what I ask of you.
Free the realm.
Yes.
So you're trying to tell us that by freeing you, we free the realm.
Yes.
Free it
Your
from what?
gods that you know of, which are not a god of you. You are Fae. Your Fae have to serve these other gods. These old gods, Zeus, Ares, Athena, Apollo, Hera, Poseidon, they are gods of their own will, own desires, and their own fickle pleasures. They are not great gods. They are not gods of the people. All the people of Spiro are their slaves, their pleasures, their cast-offs, entertainment to their own devices. They do not care as well as you think. The gods that I know and can bring forth need the people. We flourish as the people flourish. As the people flourish, our power rises to give more to the people. What Hades is doing is because he is fickle, he is old, and he hates his brother. He has brought me here to be a weapon against his brother. But if he wins, he's the only God you serve, and the realm will become the realm of the dead, as he envisioned. By freeing me, we will bring other gods in that will stop all of this, not just Hades, but all the old gods, and bring new life to the people, all people. And as you can see with the matron mother, it is all people. No color of skin, no color of species, no choice of birth, things that they all come from. It is by what they believe in that will be given the freedom, not what is being taught, what not needs to be sacrificed for the pleasures of the old gods. Those ways will be done. Those ways will be cast away when the new gods come. In Spiro, there are only one God. They're all human. All species serve them. Loth has made her way because the underground is not well known to the gods of the heavens. So she had made her power here. But the elves do not have Corellian Lothlorien. The dwarves do not have Moradin. And there are other gods to each of the species throughout Spiro that in other realms they have. I did trick you to get here. But what I ask of you is of the quest that you may not have thought, but is indeed the most important the realm could ever imagine. You are about to change the old guard of gods to the new one for the people, if you so accept this quest. And I cannot see, if you are of the people, why you would say no.
I can tell you why we would say no. We walk with the scion of the gods. We are promised to the missions of the Summer Queen, and we are steadfast in our resolve to stop your entrance to Spiro.
It seems to me that you are talking about creating starting a war between gods, between the gods, the current gods, and the gods that you're speaking of bringing forth. And I can see only one group that would truly suffer in a war between gods, and that's the people.
I told you, Hades has already started the war. I am his weapon. So I am already in this war. You are not. You may walk away from this, but Hades will not stop. But I'm telling you that he has me shackled. I will continue to use my magic for him. But he is going to strike at his brother. He has already planned all of it. He is already in motion. He has put his champion out into the world of Spiro. And he is destroying the dynasties of men, as we have already spoken.
So you're saying that the Dark Sun is his champion, not
That is correct.
with you.
He's not my champion. But I know what Hades was doing. I had to break away from what he planned. But I cannot do it alone. I have restrictions and limitations because of what Hades is the power here. I was not made of this realm of Spiro. I come from another. But I can bring the aid of other gods and goddesses to you. My children have chosen it. I should say, the children of this god, this matron has chosen it already. You can see she believes in this. She has changed her ways. If I can change the way of the Drow society, imagine what we could do to the rest of the realm.
And yet nothing we've seen so far has given us any grounds to believe that the changes you make will be for the good of the people.
I did not say either would be good or evil. What I did say was I would give the people the choices to the gods they believe. The gods you serve now demand their sacrifices and their tributations. You cannot lie to that. The way you serve the gods now are by their terms. What I'm offering you is to have the people choose the gods and how they serve. The people empower the gods that follow me through what you break. You can choose not to walk away. You can walk away from this. Your old ways will continue. Your old gods will ask the same things of you. And the people around the realm. Ares will ask you to fight the god of war. You will ask his sacrifices. As will Hera. If you spurn her, as her fickle husband has in his pleasurable carnages to make demigods around you of his choice, how he pleasures with his women, she will be upset. She will put down her curses. These creatures that have been created, Medusa, Hydras, all these things. This is what the gods here have done. You may champion them. You are a champion. Not all of you are. What I'm giving you is the opportunity to break what you have grown up and be taught. I'm giving you the opportunity to be truly free. I'm giving you the opportunity for every kobold, goblin, orc, bugbear, ogre, human, halfling, gnome, dwarf, elf, dragonborn, warforged, fey, dark elf, elf, Esamir, many, many species to choose. Walk away. That matron mother's people will upset her house. They will destroy her and her children, and Drow will return back to Loth. That will come to fold. Walk away. Do as you wish. Let the old gods fight. When you do that, the houses that serve Ares will continue to go to war. All the dynasties will bleed. The fields will be covered in the blood to appease him. When you are done, there will be others. Satyr will enjoy the pleasures of your women. Only Aphrodite may be the most beautiful of this realm. She will punish anyone who say her name otherwise. Protect them. Serve them. They are the old gods. That is their way. That's what you were taught. You feel that is right? You are that fanatical? Do so. Leave the realm as is, and the realm will continue to be as is. You wish to free all the species to let them choose? Then you will entertain what I say and know that we are about to take a journey that will change forever this realm and every species in it. Not for good, not for evil, for choice.
Thanks. Lady, may I speak?
I speak.
I do not know you, any of you. And I'll be honest, it pains me to even make such a plea to males that I've only just met. But growing up in the city of eternal night, my people have been slaves. I never truly understood how much we were enslaved until my eyes were opened. I, for one, cannot go back to the way that things were before, and I hope that you will help us.
I'll look to the sky. Um, and I will call out, grandfather, what is it you wish to do with Hades, and how should we, or I, conduct myself in this affair?
You're calling for Apollo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe this is one of those situations where he's paying attention.
Roll a d20.
Big money, no whammies.
Wah, wah, wah.
I think we want a whammy on this one.
What?
I was 1 pip off a 20, so 8.
Oh, you rolled. You don't feel anything right now. Silk will go, do you wish to see your god? I can make that happen.
Daddy.
But I will tell you that he will ask you to serve. I can give you his answer. Fight.
You can't give me his answer, but if you can get his attention, I would listen to what Apollo says.
Very well. It will help turn you. I don't think I'll turn you. But we'll see. She does a summon, and all of a sudden, a beautiful blonde man, towering 20 feet. He's much bigger than Silk is. Shows, and he looks. What manner of treachery magic is this to bring me here? From what I was doing, I see one of my disciples, but I do not know the others. What is this? So he goes, oh, one of your devoted wished your attention, and you are obviously paying attention like you do. And she kind of takes a step back. Apollo looks down upon you. Speak.
Great one, grandfather. We've been arranged to come to this place to speak with this being who makes claims against Hades as well as her own station in this great wheel that we call the life of Sparrow. She says the realm is at war and Hades is pushing upon machinations to take out your good works and to turn the world into a world of death. We stand at a crossroads of choice. We know nothing of this woman before us other than our assumptions and what she has said. She claims to be a shackled power being used by Hades to fuel his war. And she's asking our help. But in so doing, she contends your power in this world. And I wish to know your desires for my actions.
I do not know why I have to tell you this. You should already know. Hades is always trying to get a foothold into something. You fight. You bring the light. As I bring the light across the sky every morning for all of you. What she speaks of is fickle matter. This is the way of things. Deal with Hades. For myself, fear not. This realm has always been the way it is. Father will make sure of that. And if you are as our blood, serve it like all of us. Now, better things to do than stay in this godforsaken whatever creation of farce this is. And he takes his own power and he goes through a sun type of gate and is gone.
And did that have the feeling of Apollo?
Yes,
I mean,
it was the god.
Nice guy.
I did tell you,
Not every day you get to talk to your god.
not every day. And here's an opportunity that you speak to the divine in more cases. I will make it easy now. I will leave you to, unless you have a question, I will leave you to your choices. Take the gate to the right. You will return back to Matron Hephaestus and her chamber, and will learn much more of what needs to be done. She knows the way. I have taught her.
I have a question.
Yes?
What will you do if unshackled to the common people?
I told you, I give you and every species a choice. You saw one who tells you to serve for good, but you serve. That is his way. You don't have a choice. Or you unshackle me and you get choices. The dark elves before you are my one and true way to show you an example. You know their people, Hephaestus. You fought their people. You fell before their people. You know their wicked ways. You know their desires. Zindred is a child of those matron mothers, the daughter of the one who serves the greatest house. She has been grown up, taught those ways that you have fought all these times for Forstead. The same way you fought for good and told that was the only way, she was taught and raised that the only way was to be the enemy to you, to treat every species around her the same. So you may decide for her to be your enemy and follow the others to the other gate and serve Apollo and the other gods and leave me shackled to the things of Hades. You choose that. You can choose that. That's what I do. Or you walk in and help her grandmother do what has never been done already in the Drow society that you can ever recall. No ancient text you will ever find has ever been anything but loath. Because now, through her entire house, they have given a choice. Zindra does not follow me. I did not want her to follow me. She follows a friend, the Raven Queen. Her aunt follows another. They may not be choices that you choose or I choose, but the house was given a choice, and each of them taken a different course. The house will become more powerful, provided these events transfold the way they can. Or Hades and Loth will have their way, as they have always done. It's not uncommon. You will find history that does say of those things. Everyone who
You
has always followed the old gods, those are
you
crushed.
you misunderstand my question. You have said you will give us choices.
Everyone choices, Hephaestus.
I am asking you, what choices will you be taking?
To give
What and how does our choices fuel your power? I have never been in the presence of deities before, but I have seen two in this day.
Mhm.
One is asking for me to serve, one is asking for me to trust and choose. So I'm asking the one who asked me to trust to tell me what she gets. If I know your motivation, then I can make my choice truly and freely. If you fail to tell me truthfully what your motives are and what you are to gain, then I had no choice to begin with. And your manipulation is no different than the son that walked through a gate.
I'm here to be part of your people. But I'm going to give you another perspective because you do not understand divine. Zindred, can you please explain the choices of faith from where you started and where you are now? Glenn, your piece down.
Earpiece.
Bad. I'm notoriously bad at that.
Okay.
There were no choices. There were no choices in Drow society. You were born to whatever station you were born, and what was expected of you is what your life would be. I was born first daughter to the first daughter of the first house. I was to be a priestess of Loth. There was no choice. But that life did not work for me. Now the choice has been offered. There's no need to constantly fight and scheme for Loth's pleasure. The whole purpose before was our enslavement. That's the purpose of having no choice. Because what else could there be for us? Now that my people, or at least in this house, have been given that choice, the difference is vibrant. And we will rise to such greater power and glory than we have ever known before. not just House Olivia, but the Drow society in general, all of us. Throwing off the shackle of Loth, I'm sure there will be those who choose to stay with her, and that is their choice. But choice is the point.
So what did you choose?
I chose to follow the Raven Queen. I follow the Dark Lady of Fate.
And her worship entails what?
She's more like the whispers. She is shadows. She is sometimes madness. Uh, Firebrand, you will remember her in tales when you were growing up. Growing up, she is Fey connected, the Shadow Queen.
Correct. She's Fey connected. She comes from the realm of shadow at this point, literally. Um, but she is a goddess of death and fate and what must be. So I wield my blade Kismet in her honor, dealing out fate until such day as I meet my own.
Then clearly I am no friend of hers, as I have bested fate at least once.
Fate has no friends. It simply is.
And do you wield the blade in her name for your benefit above others, or for others' benefit above you?
I wield her blade in her name for the benefit of all Drow people to have a choice, for the benefit of all young Drow daughters to be allowed to choose their calling.
And their sons?
Fair. I am trying to expand my mind on the failings of the lesser sex, but their lot definitely should improve as well. And my dark lady does tell me that that's the right way to go on the menfolk front. Sorry, I lost it there.
I have battled against and alongside your brother. I count him among my friends. I find him to be one of the most honorable warriors to ever walk the path at my side.
Forgive me for the interruption. You speak of Ubenn?
I do.
He is my uncle, and he taught me the blade. I love him as well.
Zindred is the daughter of the first daughter, making Ubenn.
Okay.
He's
The matron y'all were talking to earlier is my grandma.
Gotcha.
It gets a little confusing.
Longhouse, Dark Elves, Little One.
And they all look about the same age.
Yes, and all look alike. But they're all the same family.
And the family tree doesn't fork so much.
More of a straight line.
We don't like to talk about that or our relation to West by God, Virginia.
If I hear a banjo, I'm out of here.
Hestius will go. It is understandable. You have seen much. You have grown much. You were taught much. You are all old warriors. We knew that. An opponent is so dangerous. But if you wish to join me, walk to the portal and I will tell you more. But divine beings are indeed cryptic, and I've seen some of your questions asked, but you have not quite understood what my goddess is trying to tell you. You have picked names because you see them before you, because That's how she had to bring you here. You have limitations. But what she told you is there are design gods of all your species. You're opening the door for them. You feel so much about my goddess and you're quick to hate her because of what you've seen before you instantly. But that's not what she told you she was doing. Once the shackles are broken and Hades' reign can be in check and the old gods broken, Carillion Letharian, someone I would not call among us, I would worship. But every elf would have them back in their life. The dwarf
Why?
you once served, Moradin, a name you have never heard, would be directly there to all their crafting abilities, firing to the forges, and it would not be a human type of god in Hephaestus, but an actual dwarven bloodline.
My
That's what
very my very name, my very designation, stamped upon my steel on the day of my sentience, was given in the name of Hephaestus. I am a product of his creations.
to change the world, great choices had to be made by great individuals. The collection of you heroes in this realm was not taken lightly, Warforge. These choices have to be made because they're the hardest choices. Any other hero that you would ever come across, even your old captain, would not have accepted what we bring forth to you. However,
Did you,
because you traversed the entirety of the realm, you have seen and have been touched by more than what other mortal heroes of your ilk have ever done. As a warforged, if you wish to be chained by your namesake's forge for the eternity of your life, then please, I do not need you. But if you are of a greater being, and if you wish to serve the woman next to you as you wish to, you're going to need magic, son. Decide if you really wish to be old and predictable, or do you wish to breathe and live as a warforge of your own choice, or go back to the service of Forstad? These are not easy choices, children. This is against the gods, and the gods are already at war. We're bringing you in to an opportunity to do something about it. I am in just the same predicament as you. I have put my house in more risk and my children than you will ever understand. My niece's life is now in more danger than you ever can understand. I'm giving you opportunity to flee that. What my goddess is giving you is giving you that opportunity. I have already chosen our fate. But you must understand, Hephaestus, the children that you want with Vivian will never happen under the guise of the old gods. You want a real life? Choose my goddess. Choose what is happening here. Wake up to the reality of the new age that is going on, or stay in shackles and get out of my sight.
you allowed Alesky to speak to his god. Would you allow Firebrand and myself to speak to our summer queen?
I have a question I've been wanting to ask. If, as you say, the Fae don't follow the gods now, they can have these better gods that are more in tune to them that they could be following. Why are they so intent on stopping Silk from being released upon the realm? Why would they have no skin in the game then if it would be better for them? But it seems like it might not. It might not be better for them
The
if
people,
she's around.
people do
Yes,
not,
they are people.
the people do not know the new gods. You cannot know something if you were never taught. It is not in the temples that are taught. It is not in the academies that you know. You know the gods as the gods have been taught to you. The Raven Queen is not known outside these walls. No one knows of Carillion, Moradin, any of the gods that exist. They do not know.
Why would the Fae want to stop Silk from coming about so much if they? I don't understand. Why would they want her
Not
stop so much if
they are fickle. They do have their beliefs in their own way of magic. But I have had sway with the Unseelie.
Allow us to speak to our summer queen.
Very well. But it cannot be here. She waves a hand and you guys just drop into a somewhat of a disc.
I never let go of Vivian's hand, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
Damn it.
The two of you are in the summer court. You two in the summer court.
So we just teleported there?
You're right there.
Fuck.
Just the two of them?
Just the two of them. So now this is just those. It's just HK and Firebrand. The Queen Tiamat goes. That is rather rude.
I kneel.
Yeah.
My
Little
Don't
better.
recall summoning you.
A little better, but still rude. What
my
you want?
we were meeting with this new
Oh, so
The one we
her
were
designs
the
on
one we were tasked to stop from coming into power and being summoned forth of the ritual.
stop the ritual.
No, we were attempting to do so, and it seems that she knew all of us, claimed that she was guiding what was happening to us,
Well, she is the
and
goddess of
summoned us
magic. She knows a lot.
summoned us forth to some sort of
Nether
realm,
realm.
pocket dimension, something where she is at, and is making claims about why we should bring her, side with her and bring her forth.
Did you stop the ritual?
We have not stopped the ritual
We have
yet.
not stopped the ritual yet.
Ritual is important, so Hades does not have her. That is what you're sent to do.
She is asking us to join her.
Will it stop the ritual?
I don't believe so.
Why not?
If the
She-
ritual is to bring her forth, then it would not stop the ritual.
She claims that the
Not
war
stop a goddess from coming into anything. It is the ritual, is the bond between her champion and Hades. Is what I ask you to do.
So you want us to help Dark Sun not follow Hades anymore?
I do not want Dark Sun to have the ritual in place that will give his god the power over the Dark Lady, the goddess Silk. We will give Hades the magic that he needs against his brother.
So we're making it so she's free is what you want us to do.
I don't know exactly what she wants to do. I just do not
No,
want
what you were asking us to do,
to stop the ritual.
if the ritual is for him to have more control over her,
He
and
has
stopping the
control,
ritual.
but he will
So
be
you want us to
absolute.
cease that control,
Yes.
to give her freedom. So you wanted us to give her freedom.
I don't care what happens. I just don't want the ritual.
So
You just don't
she-
want Hades
she
to have it.
claims
Good, my knight, or my soon-to-be knight.
she claims that If freed, Hades will not have control over. And the ritual is how Hades does not have control over.
Do you do much studying, Metal
The
Man?
ritual is how Hades controls her. So if we stop it, he does not control her anymore, and then
You are the
she
wizard.
gains her freedom.
You're the wizard, Firebrand. And you're really making this boring. I told you what to do. You know what to do. Just do it. And then everything will be better. And I'll have
Why do you want
I do not serve you.
Hades stop so far?
I serve you. You
Fair
serve
enough.
me.
Fair enough,
The ritual is important.
my queen.
Back to life. I know you are very ambitious
You did.
and you have a lot of motivations and things to go. But Hades is a very bad thing. I like life. You see flowers, you see leaves, you see trees. Hades kills things. He is with Queen of Air and Darkness over there in the other court. That is what we do not want. That is why I brought you into my service. He cannot have more magical power than us to destroy the realm. You stop the ritual.
Will we?
Which is
Would
what we
you-
were going there to do,
Yes.
but they stopped us from stopping the ritual,
Can
which
you
is counterintuitive to. Sure.
Let me ask, if I may ask a question, my queen.
You have been asking away. You might as well continue, Metal Man.
You like life and can grant it and help it grow where it would not normally grow, correct?
Correct.
If my desire was to have a child, would you be able to help me with this?
Have I already helped?
You have, in some regards, in many regards.
Well, then you like magic. That's what Fae is. Bending possibilities and realities. But can't do it with the dead, Metal Man. I like you because you're kind of alive. Dead things are gross things. Are we starting to get the understanding what's happening here?
I fear this is the most confusing situation I have ever experienced.
I know what you want us to do.
Having children is
Okay.
usually a very complicated thing. It leads to much confusion.
I having them is the easy part. It's after.
Some choices, yes, you are right. Are we done here?
My queen, we will do the best we can.
Do you need tea?
Do I need what?
Tea?
Tea?
Yes, it was brewing before you suddenly appeared.
That would be nice. That would be lovely.
Some satires come up and they give you tea. It's very nice.
Find us in a spot.
Go halvesies, go halvesies.
Well, any snacks or anything, or
Very well. Give the soon-to-be knight some snacks. Some leprechaun comes up and goes,
I
Hey,
assume time isn't passing over there, so
you know,
you know.
yes, you assume you've been
I
here before.
I don't care. So
Yeah, you're in front of your queen. Yeah.
yeah, I'm having tea and snacks over there.
Okay. You all happy now?
Sure.
I am convinced this is the most confusing situation I have ever
Well,
experienced.
it's a good thing I didn't put you in charge. And you guys are back off to the plane where Silk was. A few seconds has passed and they're back.
I make sure Drew notices I got some crumbs.
Okay.
I was just having a snack.
All right. They're back. Hestius is
Didn't have
now.
any beer though.
I
Beer.
said I passed Drew a cookie I took. I
Okay.
pocketed it.
Nice. Hestius and Kindred will walk through the gate that will lead back to the chamber. Silk will now finish. The other way leads to wherever you wish to be. But it is a choice that is outside of what I have sought.
Okay, so
I will leave you now. The gates will be your
there's this ritual that was supposed to be taking place to connect Hades to Dark Sun, to the champion, to you, to control you. We need to stop that ritual.
Yes.
What can you tell me, us, about how to do that, how to stop this ritual, which is in line with what you want as well?
Yes. Go to the gate, meet Matron Hestius, and you will stop the ritual.
And that is what you want as well as what we want?
I do not wish to be enslaved. Do you wish to be enslaved?
No.
Who is she doing the ritual? Why would she be doing it if we need to stop it?
I am not doing the ritual.
Then who is?
Yeah.
Hades champion has set the ritual. Dark Sun is his champion.
So your forces will help us stop him?
Yes, Hestius will show you. I have already set a trap for him, but I need more heroes that are active. The other ones are bound to him. We are all bound by Hades because of the avenue in which he constructed to get us here to battle his brother and his children.
So in truth, we were tricked into thinking stopping this ritual stopped you, but the reality is stopping the ritual is what you wanted also.
Would you have ever been told you back after you found the dragon that you almost killed? If I were to tell you that you're going to go on a quest to stop a god from something another god, would you really have taken it?
Maybe.
And there the hesitancy lies.
It might have been harder to get people to join us.
Yes, it would have. Fate is a fickle thing.
If our purposes are not crossed, and our friend and ally Ubenn can journey with us as well, then we have no quarrel with you.
I will tell you, Ubenn will not journey with you. I have foreseen. He must protect his house because we have endangered it. Now, if you're a friend of his, you will save his house. If you don't, choose the other gate and leave him behind. And he will die. I have foreseen the other side.
So we go through one gate, we get the opportunity to continue our mission and stop the ritual.
And save his house, yes.
Save our friend's house, free you.
Yes.
But we have stopped the ritual that the Summer Queen has bid us to stop, that Forstad has bid us to stop.
Yes.
But in doing so, we put ourselves at odds with our comrade's own grandfather.
Possibly, unless he has seen a different light.
I don't see it as odds. He commanded me to fight Hades, and he's not worried about the consequences of apparently releasing this woman from these shackles she claims to have.
Ooh,
Either gate I go through, I fight Hades. But I have another question. We were told that Loth has no voice in the first house now.
That is correct.
So of the hundreds or thousands of people that were in Loth's influence in the house, all of them have changed allegiance to a different god?
Yes.
Every single one. Not one chose to continue to follow Loth?
Yes.
I'm going to have to call insight check.
You fail. There's no way to read a goddess.
Yeah, I know, but I still have to try, right?
Go ahead. I'll actually give you, if you roll a natural 20, I'll give it to you.
I'm going to do it right here for the real deal. Give me 1 second.
I trust you.
So those who chose not to follow you or one of your attendant powers
It was not a natural 20.
Thank you.
What happened to them?
16.
I will give you, those answers will be given to you if you choose to follow history. There was going to be one with you, and she will provide your answers. She will make you feel why you've taken the right door. Most
We
devotees,
just have a discussion amongst our little core group.
I was just waiting. But I will tell you, the most devotees
I don't
never
want to interrupt the
have a
town hall going
conversation with the
on.
divine. I've got to try really hard to make that connection. Good luck. This will make, for now, a brief time. I will see you until next time. And she turns into a ball of light, fades off into the horizon. The 2 gates remain. You are the party amongst yourselves.
Speaking for myself, HK and I went to the summer court, and stopping this ritual and freeing her from Hades is the direction, is where we have to go for her to follow the summer court. That's the orders we were given. The Summer Queen clarified that is indeed where we have to go. So that's where I have to go as a member of a follower of the court.
Either door really says you can choose to stop Hades. It's just, do you wish to support her or totally not take what they've asked from the Dark Elves?
The Summer Queen was very clear. It was about stopping the ritual. And if there's only one gate to do that, then
both gates give you options to do that. She just told you, are you doing it for sure with her hopes, or you leave her hope, choosing not to really support her and let the shackles happen? Because that's basically, you have to now work through you'll have to go through backdoor channels to get back to this ritual situation. She's giving you answers through her new disciple in the Drow society. But you can still choose to follow the quest, either gate. It is just this path that she's taking a much more influence with you if you choose the gate through with the Drow.
and in doing so, we honor our comrade and we save his house. As we said, we would try to provide the least amount of impact to her.
You will do that. And each one also does not oppose the mandate by your Fae Queen. And Lesky has made the same thing clear, that Apollo really gives a rat shit about what's going on, because you're just like, whoever you fight is fine with him. It is more how he feels about his god's conduct to the matter.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest showing by Apollo.
If it was him.
Well, it just shows his lack of concern for this idea that other gods might be around to worship.
Everybody still looks to the sun every morning. All farmers plant according to the cycles of Apollo. All people fear Apollo's leaving. At the end of the day, Apollo's reign is unlikely to change.
Unless one of these new gods serve a similar purpose and supplant him and followers.
Pepper goes, I was brought to help you along because I could feel these gates. There are always time to time that happens. There are definitely great dangers and fiends. But this definitely is a super challenge to all of us. I've never heard of deities doing this. I guess that's what makes it very intriguing. If this change is real, if what she is saying is real, I've got to help the Drow. I'm sorry. That woman just made a point where she was abused. She has been made to serve as a slave. I can't turn my back on the Drow people. I've got to help them. And she walks toward the gate
The one and the only.
into the Drow realm.
I look at Vivian.
5, Alicia?
I say, well, since she was talking about me, I think I'm gonna go with her.
Yeah, you're already there. You're there. We'll keep
I
that. But you made an impression, Glenn. There you go. You done well.
I look at Vivian and just trying to get a look from her as far as what she's thinking. Either way,
Insight check.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
that's
you.
going to be a dirty
Look
20.
at you.
Vivian is overwhelmed and scared. Like, she's not saying anything because she doesn't seem like she knows exactly what to do. This is way above the pay grade that she signed up for.
I changed my visage using my ability to go to a human form, and I hold her hand. I hold her close, and I will whisper in her ear, but if anybody else hears, that's fine. And I will say, no matter which gate we go through, we will do it together. I have my orders, but they will always come second to your safety.
Well, I have led my orders to be with you. But I don't know what to expect of this. I don't know why. I want to have a good life. That's all I want, HK.
And we're going to go through that gate and do right by our comrade, do right by the Summer Queen, and we're going to earn that life.
She's not.
Firebrand, I hope you join us. I hope this is not our parting of ways.
You go through the Dark Elf Gate?
We do.
Okay. They're gone.
Well, Jew, my thing was to follow my orders from the Summer Queen, and that still aligns with them. So, fuck it.
That's my boy. That's my boy. Jake, I can hug you right now, man.
So, what do you say? Let's roll. I walk through backwards.
Oh, that's so Dresden. Very well done.
I just go through that motherfucker.
Jew and Oleski, you're the only two remaining in this plane of silk.
Yeah.
What happens if we just stay here?
Your choice is not to choose.
Silk
Throw a
manifest.
wrench into the whole plan.
Silk manifest in front of you, Jew.
Should have get off the pot.
Damn it.
I can understand your complexity, Drew. Many of your friends have higher callings. If you wish, I can bless you. You can champion me, and I will guide you to the events that you need to get to.
Hey?
Yeah.
Okay,
Your friends are Fey touched. They're part of the court. You like to be strong. You're a soldier. I can help you.
I've gotten to where I'm at on my own. I'm all set. Thanks.
Then
Appreciate the offer, though.
Then choose the gate, my friend. Where would you lie?
What's your thoughts, Oleski? You've been deep in thought for a while as well.
Well, as I said, by my grandfather's word, either gate I step through, I will be taking on the cause of defeating Hades' plan. If I go through that gate there, indicating the Drow one, I don't go because I choose you, looking at Silk. I go because I choose the good of my friends. Let's go, Jew.
I go with him.
All right, you guys all go the direction. All of you appear. Matron Mother is sitting in the throne. You guys find yourself somehow in the center. The gate seems to be invisible or not there anymore. She goes, Firebrand, will you please approach the throne?
Alrighty.
She goes into a pouch and reveals the bloodstone, and she hands it out to you.
I take it.
You've pretty much secured most of the power now from controlling her. The bloodstones were never meant to stop her from ever showing them. They were always meant to control her. If they were summoned, she was pulled through by these measures. The power over her is dominant, and that's why the shackles would be in place. It is like slipping through gates with your hand, but those gates were closed to become the shackles to this realm. That is what he had planned. I now know you have 2 of the stones. He still has 1. He still may use it if the other ones aren't being quite used unless we break all 3. So seeking the Dark Sun is still priority. We still must get that last stone and take it away, and then that pretty much takes away any danger of anyone ever controlling the dots. Is that understood?
So, but if you mentioned destroying them, you know a way to destroy them?
It is very difficult. God has made these, but you can bring them to your queen, and the Fey realm can forever guard against controlling the goddess of magic, which I think would be quite proper.
So it might be a better idea if we need to go after Dark Sun to get the last
Yes,
stone, to bring these 2 stones, to bring the other 2 stones to the Fey Quarter
yeah,
first. We don't want to bring them to him,
you may do so.
because then if things go wrong for us, then we'd be delivering them.
That is
We
true.
don't want to do that.
Very tactical.
He's
So
learned.
at least if we get these 2 stones to the Fey Court, that would put them out of play for him.
Yes.
Okay.
Your journey would lead you there. Dark Sun is hiding in the north, in the mountains. His legions there are easy to hide because the undead feel no cold.
So we can stop. We can journey to the Feylands on our way there
You
to
may.
drop off the stones.
You need to go to St. Augustine. That is where your priestess has the other stone. Then to the west,
Yeah.
go to the Fey Forest. Then you can deliver them to your queen.
And that is what we shall do.
Huh?
Before we leave, will we have the opportunity to bid our farewells to our friend Ubenn?
You will. And I also want to make sure that you succeed. I'm going to give you forth my granddaughter. Sindred will accompany you in the name of the Raven Queen. So you understand that our city of Eternal Night is behind you. And with her abilities, you shall succeed at a greater chance. She is the paladin
Trading up.
of the Raven Queen, and she wields her most holy weapon, which will help you versus the undead. Without her, you will suffer. You will have a much difficult time.
I hope you are as honorable a warrior as your uncle. But hearing that he has trained you, I will take that on faith, unless proven otherwise.
I will give you rooms. You may rest. You may plot. You may make your decisions.
A noble gesture, 10 man.
Zindred will care to anything else you will need in the city. My people are open to you in this, of course, this castle. I would be fearful if you ventured outside of it. We do not have the influence as we want.
I'm good.
I was promised the answer to a question.
Oh, yeah?
Of all your household, we've been told that Loth has no ear inside this citadel. You talk of choices. Are you saying that nobody of the thousands of soldiers and people who live inside the citadel have all stepped away from Loth? There was not one here that remained faithful?
Why would you think that's impossible? Curious, before I give you the answer.
Because it begs the question of if this is all a matter of choice, none chose Loth, so why has she stayed in power so long?
What do you know of Loth?
Very little of actual fact other than a power of deception and a web of lies. My question is, if they had chosen Loth, what would have happened?
They would have chosen Loth. I opened the doors when I took to the power. The goddess was very clear that diversity would mean more. What you're seeing here wasn't indeed a change, Aesmer. Something you probably don't understand, but Loth is a cruel mistress. I was told to teach lies to all the sisters of the other houses to keep them in check. If I did not tell a certain house the correct lie, they could use that lie upon my lie to come back to join against my house. We are not the first house of the first house of all time. My ancestors had to lie and scheme to get here. They killed, betrayed, set up, conspired, murdered many other dark elves to put my house in this position. When I told every Drow member, every ogre, goblin, orc, that they had a choice, you could not have quelched the celebration more than perhaps when your sun meets the highest point in the sky for all your followers of Apollo. All those orcs now are soldiers. I pay them. They do not serve as they had as slaves. We broke those ties because we had to have choice. We had to have that diversity. There are things that perhaps other gods come into play, but it hasn't quite all happened yet. Yes, Glenn?
Are you mother or grandmother right now?
Grandmother.
Grandmother. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure I use the right thing. Grandmother, if I may.
Of course.
I understand your concerns, and you're not wrong. My apologies that the complexity of our society are so difficult for, one such as yourself to understand. But those who would still choose Loth, those who could not let go, who were not ready to have their eyes opened, they simply chose not to be here any longer because Loth does not allow for any other choice. So if any of my family or any of the people left within our household could not accept this change, it wasn't through any fault of our own or our choice, but they would have chosen to leave the house because Loth would not allow them to stay.
Let me ask the improper question that Oleski has so artfully and skillfully danced around. Did they leave of their own volition, or were they escorted out of this life at the end of a blade?
If they were Loth, they snuck out.
No one was killed
I
for
don't
what they
know.
believe.
From my house, all my children chose this way. They did not choose all silk, but each of my daughters, their daughters, they chose. None of my house met a blade. None of my house left. None of my house chose Loth. They could have. None of them did. When you go to your tire, you may seek them out. This is Zinger's mother. If I was in normal society, she would not allow to speak because I would have whipped her tongue out. But things have changed. Kadori is the high priestess of the Raven Queen, Zindred's mother. All of us are open to you. There's definitely a young dark elf that she's moving to. That is Olina, Zindred's sister. She is learning to become a priestess in the clergy of the Raven Queen. My other daughter, Lara Nidi, she is going to serve Tiamat. She has heard about the dragons. My other daughter, Mag Corbella, wishes to follow like myself. She is young, not that surprised. Her daughter, Nashami, will also follow her mother. And my youngest, Alar, she is also seen as her sister has and follows the Raven Queen. Taturian, my son, understands the power of magic. If you wish a least faithful viewpoint, you may talk to him. And you have journeyed with my other son, Ubenn. I wish Ubenn could continue with you because I know your bond is strong, but when I have talked to him, he will understand that we will need a general because there are many houses and they have many minions and they do serve both and their ways are much fanatical and harder. I will need the great weapon master to defeat champions that they have in front of us.
Know this, that your son Ubenn is a close friend of mine. We have fought by his side. He has fought by our side. I call him friend.
Then I will call you friend. You did step to the gate and you've honored it. I wish to be a friend to you as well. That is why my house is open to all of you. Please accept my hospitality. And if you think there are secrets in the shadows, you can see there are lights, but you may walk among them. Zindred and her Raven Guard will be there to assist you.
Matt,
No, Mike.
I would welcome the opportunity to pass among those in your household and offer them the choice of the morning sun and the light at noon, and to be the light in the darkness of this world.
You go with my blessing. For that, Zindred, please take them to a room as guests. I believe
Absolutely.
the West Wing will be very good to their comforts. I think we had a fireplace set in there for them, much to the surface dwellers' delight.
Yes, they can't handle the chill, can they?
Not
I
normally.
suppose that means we must find someone to send wood. Very well.
You know it'll be done. All right, so there are servants still around, but they handle the house, and Zindred will take you to. Doesn't take you long to go to across the hall into a very beautiful, lavish room. There is a fireplace that Zindred seems to have some of the servants will help take care of. But there is a large bed, lavish couches and chairs. It's really set for one person in a king-size bed, but there's definitely plenty of places to lounge around all over the place. And you're all there.
Yes.
Then did you stay or do you stay in the room, go outside the hall?
One more time.
Do you go with them you stay in the room or do you go out in the hall? Do you want to give them space? What do you want to do?
Oh, I was assuming that I went in with them, so please make yourselves at home, and then I was going to bow my way out.
Do you let her leave?
If you need anything at all, I'll have I'll have Rilden from the Order outside.
Okay.
If you need anything or an escort.
He goes, as you wish, mistress. I will see them. All right, so
Thank
there's an older dark elf seems to be outside your door.
Once the door's shut,
Quite the day.
I turn around and look at everybody in the most what kind of look I can possibly muster. Like, this was not what I anticipated.
Not at all.
Not at all. I mean, all that prior planning and
Well, if we learned one thing, we were right. We needed to just go in and talk so we could get to whatever the heart of the issue was.
yeah.
Pepper goes the deepest
Don't
conspiracy.
don't make that a claim of victory of our plan working, because that was not the plan.
Well, Vivian goes, we're all still alive. We didn't have to fight Ubenn's family.
I'm taking that as a W in
Yeah,
my book.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that's
I'm afraid that has to go in the column of
Alexi, just one thing I've learned in combat is they don't ask how, they just ask how many. That's a W.
all right. So
That being said,
Jew. I believe you just quoted the battle hymn. It was phrased differently.
Pepper goes,
I'm not the best at reading, so it comes out a little.
Yeah.
that other woman who's this Raven card thing. Zin? I'm gonna call her Zin. Should we get to know her better somehow before all this?
We should, but we need a us time
Okay.
after what we just happened.
All right.
That's all. There's a lot to
As you probably should.
absorb, and we were just in the presence of two different deities
That's crazy.
at the same time.
3 if you
doesn't
count
happen.
me.
Ever. So
Okay. Now what then? We just sleep it off.
I need a drink. So we need Firebrand. We need to get the stones back to the Fey Court first.
Yes, we have to pick up the first stone that we got on our way.
So get the first stone, get to the Fey Court, deposit 2 stones,
And then
next
then go
step
north.
is going north.
Yeah. I know it all sounds so easy.
That was
It was too easy, but I guess from what we've learned today, a lot of what's happened in the recent weeks and months has been heavily scripted. So I guess it's not a surprise that it was that easy. We were definitely drawn to this location.
I fear the other choice may not have been so easy.
Yes, if we had gone through the other gate, I think it would have been considerably more difficult.
True.
But we didn't, so here's to that. So I guess we're gonna.
So from here, we go back to the summer court. We deliver the stone we have, or we go through. We get the first stone. We travel with great peril with 2 stones to the summer court.
Well, we do have an ability to immediately travel to the summer court and deposit 1. But then we would have to do a loop of travel to St. Augustine and back.
Or we could go to St. Augustine, get the first one, and then immediately travel. So we have some peril on the way to St. Augustine, but no more no more peril than we had on the way to dropping it off to begin with.
Yeah, I think that would be the quickest and easiest method, is just get to St. Augustine once we have both stones making the insta trip.
Just to play devil's advocate, the other scenario would be to save the scroll for when we're facing Dark Sun to get the 3rd stone. Just putting it out there.
I
think
agree that the travel to St. Augustine and then the court is the proper travel plan in the sense of efficiency. My big concern is that at our arrival in St. Augustine, we'll have two of the stones in the same place.
I agree.
But we'll have another ally.
My thought is, if at that time we are beset, we utilize the ability to move immediately, and that resolves that. But perhaps we travel without using that ability, and if we are beset, we take the ability. That way, if we manage to get all the way there without using it, we have that in reserve for the final fight.
Is it possible that we could also ask Hestius if, as a follower of Silk, who's already shown the ability to shoot us all over the place, if there's some way to get us to one of these places faster than walking, if they have some sort of way to teleport us, either straight to the Fey Court or to get the other stone first, to expedite things and make it safer and faster.
Could talk to Zindred. I don't know.
It's worth asking.
Yeah.
Before we bring Zindred back in and ask that, big picture, what's next steps as far as we deposit the two stones, we move forward north to continue to stop Hades? Is that what you guys were told by the Fey Queen, the Summer Queen?
We have to stop the ritual, so we have to go north and get the third stone from the Dark Sun. Dark Sun has it, apparently, so we have to get it from him. Easy, right?
As easy as anything else we've
Okay,
done.
the second stone was easy, so why not?
If just so we're clear when we go to Zindred, if they have the ability to somehow teleport us to one of these places, the safest place, I don't know if it, time wise it's the best, would be for them to shoot us to the Summer Court, deposit the stone we have, then travel to get the first stone we got, and then back to the Summer Court. That would be the safest, because then we'd never be in possession of two at the same time.
My problem with that is we don't know what kind of time frame we're dealing.
Yeah.
And assuming, as with everything else, we have been time sensitive.
But would that be any slower time wise than it would have been if we just were walking?
Absolutely.
If we walk to get the first stone?
If they can teleport us to St. Augustine. We're there with two. If we choose to walk, we walk. If we're beset, we use the ability. If we're not beset, then we have the ability in reserve for the final fight.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I just wanted to clear it up before we went to them, so we're all on the same page and know what we're asking for.
The key is, once we're in possession of two, we must always, at all times, be within range. So all of us
ready to go. Yeah.
I believe you said it was 20 feet or 30 feet.
I don't have a range, Ben. I don't know if we discussed that before.
Was it the teleporting spell?
Yeah.
Scroll. Oh, okay. Is that what he uses?
That could be fun. You could come up with like this big spider web net thing that everybody's tied to, so they can't get further than that away from each other and go around that way everywhere. No?
No.
Nah.
So apparently the Drow hasn't changed her ways.
You got the spider web thing, huh? Damn.
See, the range is only 10 feet, so we have to be real close to each other, apparently, if it uses the teleport spell.
And if I'm following along on this, whatever we want to call what happened,
our group is small enough we can all be within 10 feet, but basically,
Yeah.
if we're beset, we have only one thing to do: get in proximity,
Close ranks, and
Close ranks.
Be ready.
and go.
Oh, sure.
So as long as everybody knows that, that's pretty much what we have to do.
Yeah.
And one other question, big picture wise. We're looking to stop the ritual, confront the dark sun. If that facilitates the release of Silk, so be it. Our goal is no longer to prevent her.
I am getting the impression that she is coming here regardless. The question is, does she come here under Dark Sun's control, under Hades' control, or under her own volition? She's here. That's not the issue.
The ritual is for Hades to continue control her more. We're stopping the ritual so he can't control her. We're not preventing her from coming here. She's going to do that anyway. It's just whether who's in control of her when she gets free will or Hades.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're asking for Zindred to come in?
Or we defeat Hades and leave her shackled with no control over her.
We defeat Hades and we shackle her and have control over her. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We just have to stop the ritual, not defeat Hades. I
think some plans might need to go unspoken, Alesky.
Yeah.
Are you bringing Zindred in now or no?
Yeah, we'll summon her.
After that exchange, yes, but not before.
Well, it takes a moment. You tell the guard outside. Zindred, it says, I'll tell you, I think the youngsters are ready to talk to you.
Fair. Thank you.
Do you wish to go in by yourself? Do you want me to go with you?
Oh, I'll be fine. But thank you.
I know you'll be fine. So, all right, he stays outside. Zindred comes back in all her grace.
Hello.
Lady Zindred?
Her grace is different than your average her grace when you're talking about nobility. It's not like she moves with a significant amount of grace, but it is not the grace of a practiced lady or courtier. It's with the precision
deadly grace.
Correct.
So
it seems we would be companions.
Yes, we had a question for you that came up in trying to figure out our best course of action. That
naturally
is just about expediting the course that we have to take, which is in line with what your family is looking to do, to bring the stones to the Fey Court for protection, as your grandmother had brought up.
Indeed.
Seeing as how she's following Silk, Silk was teleporting us everywhere. She teleported HK and I back to the Summer Court. Is there a way for your grandmother to, either through Silk or some means she has of her own, to teleport us somewhere where we have the place where we have the first stone that we retrieved, to help us all on our way, rather than walking back through the Underdark back to Forstad and then, to the surface? And
no, certainly to save time, if not, to enable your laziness, then I'm certain that we could come up with a way.
I would love to be able to spend, weeks walking through all this and chatting with you, but yeah.
No, my grandmother definitely has the power to help expedite the traveling process to get us on the road, so to speak, particularly since, time is kind of the essence.
Yes, it's pressing.
Indeed.
Perfect. So I don't know what kind of time frame we're looking to start in to go to your, if you need to go speak with her about it, and so she can line everything up, and then you'll be ready to go.
So you wish to leave immediately?
In the morning.
In the morning.
Fair. That would, they're probably planning at least a meal. So that would be very
South.
gracious of you to choose to accept the hospitality of at least the evening.
Yep.
And I'll make the arrangements with my mother this evening. Where is that you'd like to go? My grandmother, I apologize.
St. Augustine.
Very well.
Okay,
Then, Pertel, what's as we're all working together now, what's next? What
Then-
would we?
Then we would make our way to the summer court.
And that's where we're going to leave both of the stones before we head north to take on Dark Sun.
Gotcha. Who has the third stone?
Correct.
Stop the ritual by getting the third stone and then bringing it back to the Fae for
I've also heard that he has.
forever safekeeping.
I've heard from my grandmother that Dark Sun has 6 fearsome champions to defend him. Before we go, I'll see if I can get any more details from her
Any
about them as well.
any information would be greatly appreciated.
His 6 will fall before us. This I
Oh,
guarantee.
of that I have no doubt.
okay. Well, Zin's gonna set up dinner. Sindred. So we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break.
All right.
You guys have a chance, and then we'll kind of recap dinner, and then that will pretty much end the session. So,
All
Okay.
righty.
moments. So you staying warm down there, Rico?
Trying to. Yeah, we had a fun week, but you know, for us having lived in Maine for so many years, it wasn't bad. Just more of an annoyance than anything. But we didn't lose power. We had one small pipe to one of the sinks freeze for half a day, and then internet's been shoddy all week. But that's about it. But everything's been, I saved the whole town, pretty much the whole state shut down. Orion's been out of school all the week because they don't want anybody on the road. So
I saw some articles on the horrendous electrical bills. I'm not sure how you can rack up that much in a week.
because a lot of people are running extra heaters, electric heaters, things like that, extra stuff plugged in. It's really no different than, if Maine gets a really, really bad summer that they're not expecting and everybody starts running extra ACs in their house and their electric bills go up. It's kind of similar. The big difference is with the way Texas runs its power grid. I guess it's not as easy to ship in power from outside of the state, where like Maine can get power from Canada, from Massachusetts. They can pull power from wherever they need to supplement things. I guess Texas has some restrictions that affect that, so that's why they started going with a couple of days of rolling blackouts in the big cities. It's just to try to juggle the power grid from overflowing.
Yeah, but racking up a $10,000 bill in a week, that sounds pretty over
Yeah,
the
I don't
top.
know. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. I heard something about it. I didn't see all the details and how that works, but I'm guessing usually when you see something that outlandish, it ends up being some sort of billing error, or if the person owns like a huge facility or something like that, a commercial facility. But I just don't see how that's feasible for someone in their house, even if they have a electric heater in every room in their house. That sounds absurd. But I don't know. Crazier things have happened. But the sun was out today and all the snow melted, so we're back to normal.
So Glenn, while we're waiting for Lee, you know that you're pretty much being conditioned for this, groomed for this. Is there anyone of your guard that you were feeling that you wish to already kind of facilitate into your company?
I've stayed torn on that one. I mean, there's the huge piece of me that obviously wants the person I trust the most with me, but if I'm leaving someone else responsible for the order, that would have to be
Yes,
her. So
and you do know that your house is in grave danger.
yeah, so I need to leave people behind, and we're not going with a giant force, is my understanding, right? We're kind of staying smaller scale.
Yes, but because your ways are different, the comfort is at least one would probably be very easy. But if you wanted more, again, that's not really. It's not also unreasonable. You are nobility. You could take the whole guard with you. It would not raise eyebrow, but
Right.
you're being practical to the matter of the danger to your house and the other people to you. So that's why the decision I wanted exclusively in your hands, because that would weigh in how you feel as this journey progresses, how they are, who you choose, who stays. That's how kind of it goes.
Well, I got to leave Narlu in charge, so after that, I would take Jarus with me for scout and ranged, at least. Yeah, maybe Relden, the old fighter dude.
Okay.
I've been trying to decide about Shadow Smite, which is the only other one I was considering.
About who?
Shadow Smite.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking in. Okay, it's up to you. You can talk with her, or you could talk with the party if you feel like that maybe where some of it goes.
Well, I do have a number of people that I can bring, so that is something I guess I could put forward to y'all. I know you have some people already in your retinue in terms of size of stuff. You have a preference? You want me to bring 13 people? I can bring 13 people. I was betting not.
You're asking a soldier if we're going to go against what could possibly be a superior. No. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, you can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if the mic was on. You're asking a soldier if going against a superior force, we should bring more or less personnel. The answer is always, unless a stealth mission, to bring more.
Understood. And that's the tactic that I'm asking is, would we attempt to operate from the perspective of stealth with a smaller force? Keeping in mind, Metal Man, that I do also have to leave enough here to protect my family and my house.
I would put forth that through my conversations with Ubenn, we have really identified that the Drow race as a people have never really attempted to show the surface races that they follow any other path other than the path of evil. Running around on the surface with a contingent of Drow warriors may not go over as well as one might think from a non-combative point of view.
But you also remember this whole thing is going to happen in the north in the mountains, which is not much civilization up there. So
I would also like to add that Zindred, Metal Man is not his name. He has a name. And you should probably learn it. Because as we are going to be working together, doesn't mean that you should be disrespectful to him.
My name is Hephaestus Kenrick, designation HK.
Fair, HK. I am Zendrid.
Well met, Zendrid.
Indeed.
See, isn't that better?
However, is he, do you consider yourself to be male?
I am,
Are you made of metal?
at times.
So,
What was my designation inaccurate?
so Drow Lady is
At
now your
times.
name.
Fair,
Should I
fair.
refer to you as Drow Lady?
I wouldn't recommend it, but I do get your point.
Well, I don't recommend referring to HK as Metal Man all the time.
Fair enough.
Vivian goes, this is gonna be
We
fun.
have an
I
understanding.
thought I was the bitch from the start.
Never, never, dearest.
Another drow. It's not one of their order. Comes in and goes. Dinner is ready for all of you. If you wish to. Okay. So you all brought out. There's a large banquet hall, huge table. All the members of the house of Zendela are there. Ubenn is there. The matron mother's at the head of the table. You guys are kind of the opposite end. You guys can all take your seat there. Who sits at the end?
I will.
Okay, that makes sense. So Firebrand.
Is there like a circle of colors, like on the floor, under the chair, or anything?
Nope. There are no
Red,
colors.
red, white. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Just-
Perspective check, but you don't need to roll
Yeah.
it. There's nothing-
Just pay attention to the music playing.
I haven't. So there is apparently a bear, tons of fruit, your cheeses, a lot of surface stuff is there. The matron mother goes, I hope this is a feast of your taste.
Look, it looks excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Please eat, converse. If you have anything amongst my family you need to talk about, we are here to get along, to be friends. Ubenn will say, Grandmother, it was a long road here. The journey was difficult. I had gone through much perplexity with the people I traveled with because I had the old ways. When Vixet said this thing happening, I was definitely confused, but I was then more than curious to find out why. I am relieved that my friends have chosen this path with us. And I do know that you have talked to me about the defense of the house. But I want them to know, as he looks to you guys, I'm going to miss our campfires. I do not always prefer the light, but those campfires were warm. Aleski, I hope you will learn well. Please, my niece will continue the teachings with the blade. I have trained her. She's competent. Firebrand, did not think that I would like anyone like you. But you have found a way to break bread enough with me, and you have learned to not be as prejudiced as one of my species was trained to believe. You and, as he looks to Hephaestus, made this believable. I understand that you possibly have this difficulty from what my mother has said, but from one on this side, I would not have believed this tale myself. But it is comforting to know that failure is not now at the hands of a snake whip. Thank you. Jew, you are a proud soldier. Please believe in something that may guard against your allowing of things to get into you. You're a tough man. Pepper, without you, we would never have found the guides to find this place. Your path is always true for this party. And Vivian, you were more chaos than I could possibly imagine, but I cannot say that you have not brought more life to a party. When you brought warmth to a man made of metal skin, please know that you are more important than I think you give yourself merit to. I will share this last meal with you, my friends, because where your travels will mean much to me and my family. And I hope you will remember this day forever.
It's been an honor and a privilege, Ubenn. You became a true friend and companion.
A very young woman, she seems maybe for Elvish she's teenish. Zindred, you know this is your sister, Alina. She looks to you, Firebrand, and goes, "Are you a fairy wizard?
I have been touched by the Fae.
What is touched by the Fae, wizard?"
I was not born of the Fae. I was brought back by the Fae and further taught magic by them, and I've become a part of the Fae court, I guess you could say.
So you have been with Fae elves.
Yes.
Are they different than us?
Yes. They are their own society.
Oh, interesting. Thank you. Tatirian, the oldest of the males, he looks very wise, very stern. You are Firebrand. I am Tatirian, oldest male of this house. I wish to offer any spells. I can give you a few that may help you increase your abilities to protect my niece and have this thing happen. I am not a faith of this divine, but I enjoy magic. And I understand that magic can be controlled by those that wield it. But I also understand that magic can have magical effects. I will aid you if you need it. Just ask. I am the tower on the outside of this, the grounds of this estate. You may find me there, and I will give you. You will have to give me at least 2 nights. I will teach you the spells that you need.
Thank you. That's very much appreciated.
The rest of the family begins to eat. You guys are to ask any questions?
I reach into a pouch and I pull out a tattered.
Who the hell's possessed now?
What is happening? Lee, did you hit something on your microphone?
HK
Was that
got
you?
drunk.
You indeed.
HK, he got drunk.
What?
You got your voice
got-
changer on.
Yeah, you have an effect going. It's hilarious.
You just got to shock everybody. If you wanted to go with it, they just didn't. They were ready for it.
I didn't think I
reach
had an
into-
effect on. I'm
I was
sorry.
trying to let it.
I reach into a pouch.
You'll have to go back to this. I thought you were doing it on purpose. All right. So go ahead.
I can. I was going to save that. I didn't realize it was on. Took me by surprise.
HK got the Barry Manilow mod.
War now.
Hey, baby.
So I reach into a pouch
And I lay it down by a fire.
and I pull out a banner. It's tattered. There's a little bit of blood and
Pull out a what?
And
Do,
a
do you know
little
that
bit
you
of
put it
blood
back on?
and a little bit of oil. And I look over at Ubenn and I say, "This is a tattered banner from the very first battle I ever fought. I wish it to be with you, my friend, because I want you to have a piece of me with you as you defend your house, and know that in spirit I am here with you, at your side."
gets up and goes. I am honored. I accept.
As am I.
Steve, Anybody else?
You can't follow
Pretty
that.
much it.
I will say, just to give you a little bit, I know we're a little off kilter here, but Zindra did tell you about some information, but no one has asked it.
She did mention it, and I was going to ask about our potential threats.
Well, how do you want to ask it?
I was gonna wait till we were traveling. Give us something to talk about. I'm enjoying the food.
Kindred, you mentioned potential threats. Who or what will we be facing?
Oh, you will be facing Dark Sun. He has minions and generals. He has found champions.
How many?
But 6. But I have tricked Hades with his champions. They will be useful to you. I will protect you from them, even though they serve him.
So
Several priestesses come out and they put 6 medallions in front of Elarian Firebrand. They have the symbol of a black rose on it. Long ago, when Dark Sun was being chosen by Hades, this path was constructed by Hades to control me, but I had to make sure that I was not going to be fully enthralled by his methods. So he has some minions that are definitely loyal, but I have put 6 around him that will come after you, but they will lose you if you put these medallions on the ground and call forth the mist. And then they will lose track of you. But these champions will have minions of their own that I cannot stop. So you must understand that it is such a tricky way of how the balance of this conflict will come forth. There is a dark knight, there is a vampire lord, and 2 of the goddess's daughters, witches, and 1 priestess serving Darkseid. An assassin and a war master. One of my people, long ago, reborn.
there was a vampire, an assassin, a war master.
Yes, it's Death Knight, Vampire Lord, Witch, Priestess, an assassin, and a war master.
So if we put one of these medallions on the ground, call forth the mist, and they'll lose us.
Yes, but them and their minions will lose track.
How do we call forth the mist?
There is incantations on the back of each of the medallions.
Read the instructions.
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
The Black
Do we
Sun,
have-
the Dark Sun had all indications of having these champions formed. The tale is he tricked his brother into making these beings come into existence.
He sounds like a real son of a bitch. Real bastard.
Yes, his own twin brother, his flesh and blood.
Twin
I bet
brother at that. Oh.
I bet his brother was a nice guy though. Real handsome, heroic.
Well, he is a king.
Interesting story. Very interesting story. All right, so we have some protection from these 6. How long does it just, if they're in pursuit of us, make them lose us, and then they're gonna be able to pick up our trail again later? Does it?
They will.
Okay, so it doesn't stop them from hurting us. It just helps us get away from them if they're
Yes.
chasing us. Yeah. Okay.
Are there any more rituals after this?
Just
They're- Yeah, that's why we have to get the stone from the Dark Sun.
Okay, there's 3 stones. Because it was 1, and now there's 2, and now there's 3.
There was always 3.
But were there always 4?
No.
Wait, there's a 4th?
And then there's a gauntlet.
The hits just keep on coming. All right, so
Got one hell of a journey ahead of us, for sure.
those 6 sound formidable.
How do you guys propose getting the other Drow houses from wanting to attack you?
Follow law.
If you are successful, Silk will have more power, the Raven Queen will have more power, Tiamat will have more power, and if there are other gods and goddesses that see fit, Grumish maybe even Morden will help us from Forstad. We have an opportunity to defeat Loth. She will not be the all power. That is how we survive. Right now, they don't quite understand what is going on. You have been privy to knowledge that they do not have. They still believe that some Loth is in this building, but it's not fully because they don't trust each other. Once all the houses realize that what they have divined, that she is not in this estate, and they all can understand that, then we are doomed. So, as my niece has said, time is of the essence. I am aware that you will need more knowledge to this, and your priestess that holds the other stone, she is a priestess of knowledge under your god of Apollo. She will be able to research names that will be impossible for anybody else to find. That is what my goddess has told me. So Aurora
If
has much to offer.
so, we're gonna have to stay at St. Augustine for a while she looks up researches for us.
She is a great power within her faith.
Which might not be a bad thing if we have to stay an extra couple of days if you can take that.
But
opportunity
she
to
is
learn
not
from her.
she is not in the upper city of St. Augustine. She is below.
All right, so what the train of thought that I had when I said that, it'll take her some time to research is that your son was kind enough to offer to teach me some spells that would be useful in our quest,
Yes.
but it would take a couple days.
Yes.
Our initial plan was to leave in the morning to get to St. Augustine. If we have to wait there while that research is being done, if you have the power to do it in 2 stages, if you can send them forth and they can be there while that research is taking place, and I can stay back here and learn from your son, and then if you could send me forth when that'd probably be about the time that they have that research done, because if that's not possible, then
It is possible.
I'm just gonna have to forego learning
It is possible
these spells. Okay.
if that is what you wish.
Well, I think it would be foolish to, if we don't have to forego,
Sure.
your son teaching me these spells that might be be critically important in the near future.
You are a major power. And power may help you, especially when you're facing a lich of the power that you're going to encounter. Okay. Anyone wish
That's
to
a
talk
good
about anything
idea.
else during dinner? Any other members?
Mutedly.
Of these liches, are they susceptible to silver?
I do not.
Only one of them is a lich. The other ones are all their own.
Yeah, a death knight, vampire, witch, priest, priestess,
Assassin.
assassin, warmaster.
So HK's question is still valid, although we can expand it to,
Yeah.
are there any particular weaknesses that these
I think
creatures, beings, undead, whatever they may be, have?
Your god.
They have
Skin
any
damage will
special
do it.
armor that one could wear to help protect them.
that's part of what the research that we're looking to have done, right?
You are
Finding out more.
you're going to face the undead. That is why we think Zindred will be more useful to you. They will try many things. Vampires have ability to guile and charm. Being in the presence of Zindred and her order will only amplify your protection. Paladins have a unique way of protecting versus these things. Plus,
Yes, they do.
is deadly versus the undead, because it is of the Raven Queen and her purest blessing, and she has ability to bring much destruction upon someone she does not quite like.
Indeed. Against the undead in particular, it can be quite deadly. Which is ironic since they're already dead.
Much more useful than the
Double dead.
Then they'll be dead.
I will also mention that you need to push, you will need to stop the ritual, but if you wish to destroy the Dark Sun, you must do it in his lair. There will be a phylactery that he will have his essence. Destroy his being, he will only go back to the phylactery and be reborn again to bring back his hatred to all of us. To make it complete,
Opportunity.
you must destroy that.
What is this phylactery?
It is where his soul resides.
And what does it look like?
That would make it easy if I knew, but every lich in any form would never tell anything, because that is the ultimate destruction to what would happen.
But-
No one knows but him.
Is it like a door? Is it a chest? Is it a lamp? Is it a vase?
Something that can contain a soul. That is all we know.
It's usually a container, yes.
Often. Routine. We'll figure it out.
Okay, eat up. Enjoy.
Yes.
Thank you again. I do feel that you are making the best choice. I am at your quite service and mercy to you. And the Rachel mother will excuse herself.
I will stand as she exits.
Credora and Larinity will also excuse with their mother. The rest of them remain of the family.
After they've left, I'll take my seat again.
There's no other situation. You guys can rest up, prepare in the morning. That's what you want, and then she will set up the opportunity to get you to Aurora, if you wish.
I think we're pretty much waiting to, or I guess Firebrand, you're gonna get the learning and then be brought after us.
Yes.
Yep, I'm gonna stay behind and do some studying with Ubenn's brother and then meet you guys after. So you guys are gonna have to go to St. Augustine. Do the
Do the thing.
request the research, and I mean, you can tell them we're gonna need the stone, and then I'll meet you guys when you're. Hopefully, it'll line up that you guys are ready to go, and I get there, and we're ready to hit the road at the same time. Ideally,
So this third stone, you should keep it with you, and Vivian and I should stay with you as well, and then the three of us will go and follow everybody else. That way, two stones aren't in the same town for a great length of time.
well, the third stone is in the north, so we're not gonna get that for a while.
Right, but to Oleski's point earlier, and Jew's point earlier, if whoever's going to St. Augustine now is in St. Augustine with one stone,
Okay.
there would be 2 stones there for at least 2
Yeah.
days. That's not a
Yes.
good situation.
So I should hold on to this stone that we have
Correct.
now. Yeah.
But
yeah.
we
Okay,
should
yeah.
also not leave any stone completely unprotected. So, and not that this house is unprotected, and this is not a slight against your house, Lindred. This is simply stating that, one, my job as a knight of the summer court is to stay with Firebrand, and 2, if we travel, if there are any magical shenanigans, we would want to have more than just one with the stone himself.
Seems sound tactics, actually, HK.
Yep.
Ubenn will go, though. I think he is right leaving the stone with Firebrand, but I will give you my word that no harm will come to him. I told you, now that you have sided with my house, you'll be safe. You have other friends and you still represent the fake court. You may need to probably find this information out, or at least transfer some of this information to Aurora. You should go with Vivian. I will stay with Firebrand to make sure that my brother teaches him, but he will be safe here, under my word. Okay.
Last hands with Ubenn.
All right. He gives you a handshake. So if there's nothing else, the only thing I need is Zindrid. You decided on Jaras and Brendan. Do you decide on a third? Did you decide on that third one or no?
I would say we need ranged support. That is probably our weakest area.
Well, I brought ranged already. Um, but I only really have one of those.
Yeah.
Then
only
bring
From
Jaras.
that perspective.
And bring that one, because that would leave Pepper.
I already
and her.
did. That's Jaras. She's our archer.
We need more healing.
Every paladin is a hero. They're all paladins.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we'll
I
bring Shadow Smite. We won't know what she's doing, but she'll do something and it'll be cool.
As long as it's cool, man. Rule of cool.
Half the time you don't know where she is. She just poop gone. So
We might
yeah,
need one of
Jaras
those.
for the archer. Rildan because he's unkillable.
Helps too.
He's a little on the old side, but he can still outfight most people half
Uh-huh.
his age. And Laura, who is Shadow Smite. I don't really know a lot about her. She creeps me out though.
If you want healing, I will give this. I will put this to Glenn as well. You
Okay.
do know you have cousins that are of youth. In truth, they're not powerful yet in the priestess ability, but they could lend the healing hand. If that is what the party you need.
Gotcha. So we could score a cleric.
You could score. There are definitely many of them, even of this house that's chosen, and you probably wouldn't take Alini because she's young and not really good, but your
Yeah.
cousin Nashimi is a competent priestess of silk.
Okay.
Ben, you're killing me here. You do know that, right? You are
Yep.
absolutely killing me
I'm
here.
not even finished yet, Lee. I told you I'll pay
Damn, dude.
back.
I mean, I was gonna say like a general dude or somebody to take care of general crap around camp, but I'll take a priestess, sure.
All right, so you're gonna convince Nashimi to go with you? All right. So you have four dark elves accompanying with Zindrid, so that's gonna be a total of 5 dark elves now going with you. So Zindrid has 3 of her Raven Guard with her. So you have Jairus, she is a female. Lyndon is a male. The one he calls Shadow Smite is that creepy one that you were following earlier. And Nashimi. So 4 women and 1 male dark elf.
At some point, can somebody put all of those names in the chat just so we can have them when we're talking with them in later session?
Yes, I will give you that information in a little bit.
Yep. And I will suggest that they should probably speak with Ubenn, as sunlight during the day can be a bother, he would definitely be able to help you with the proper clothing and techniques to avoid additional discomfort.
Okay. They will take their morning or night into the morning to quickly learn as they need. They're dedicated in that manner. Morning will rise. You meet the matron. She
Well, Ben,
Yep.
actually before that, I would have taken time over the course of the night to go out and proselytize among the house.
Okay.
You know, since choice has been given, I would make sure that there are people aware that Apollo is an option, that Apollo is a god of the realm. They may not be aware, haven't been taught. And I will use the same phrase over and over again at different points. You know, the time the web is at its most beautiful is when the sun shines upon it and sets the dew to glistening gems. Be the light in the darkness, shine upon the web.
Oh, cool.
And use that around the household.
Many just they'll take you. They don't seem upset. They understand that you have a belief. So apparently, you give me an investigation roll.
Nat 20, so it hits a 24.
Matt, did you say you rolled a nat 20?
I did.
Oh my god!
So this must mean there's absolutely no in-game effects.
You've got,
Possibly, but it's one of those. It's one of those where you find a vital thing to this. Okay, so with the natural 20 investigation, you're going around the pace of the house. The biggest thing you'll find out is they are. I'm gonna put this right. You absolutely are thrilled and stunned, but in truth cannot find any false sensitivity to what the matron mother has mentioned to you, because you can see that the abuse that Loth put forth throughout the house, that all of them were welcoming the change to the gods. They do listen to your calling, but they take it a little bit like it's not really for us, and that's more to do with the species sensitivity to sunlight. Would be kind of like, I want more abuse on myself. It's not so much your teaching of it, but it's just like we already endured abuse, and to taking to your God would be like another form of it, and we're not really great with that. We're getting a choice. These other options that have been kind of given to us is really more appealing to what we kind of come from. They're not. You can feel that it's not all the gods chosen haven't quite all set in amongst the lower factions of the beings in the house, but it is still a society in change. This has all been very recent, and it hasn't quite fully been accepted because they don't know they're going to live. So some of them in your investigation believe, some of the house guard and stuff actually have told you that they feel that they could be taken over by the other houses and be back serving Loth. They have that fear. So you have sensed that truth of the change in faith is true. Many of them have not fully shunned Loth, but it's because they fear that they may serve her, but they don't want to. But your God is cool. They understand what it brings, and they understand it helps change because it is like the day and night, and they think that's awesome. But it is a species thing that could never be accepted because it would be pain. Okay.
So the one other question that might go along with that to ask is, do any of them profess to have come to a good god? So far, all the names that we've heard so far are kind of like dark, spooky, evil gods.
Yeah, but you've only preached Apollo. The other ones they don't know about. And the goddesses have not done, the matrons they tell you and the high priestesses have taught us few things, but there haven't been other drow that have been presented to other gods. If you're just preaching Apollo, yours doesn't work. But if you start saying, I don't know, Athena, they're like, oh, really? Who's that? And they will actually take to listening. And some find that more interesting.
They haven't been exposed to all the other ones. Yeah.
Right. So they haven't been given all the choices then.
Right. But again, Silk did tell you personally yourself that none of them have been presented because they can't all come through.
Yeah. Someone has to present the
These
choice to
other
them.
gods also, with your religion and investigation, these other gods can't be the power because these old gods have the power. They've shut it off. They're the seal. Their power has to be broken before that can that effect can have more prevalence. Silk might be the forefront right now, but she does have this thing that could usher in these others, but they don't have any stay without the belief that's in this faith of these people here or others. Okay. So again, is that ever for everybody else?
I think that's good for me.
Okay. So the matron mother will bring the rest of you forth, and she has a power ritual. She says a bunch of words in undercommon. Is that how? I can't remember that one.
It is undercommon. You got it.
Uncommon. Okay. It's been so many editions and they changed things. All right. So she says a bunch of things of that. A strong indication. It's a big ritual type of spell. 10 minutes. A gateway opens, and it's kind of like a cavern, but there's a light coming from this end of the tunnel, and she tells you to your priestess.
I reach out, grab Vivian's hand, and step through.
Okay, you go forward.
As I do so, Firebrand.
He'll be with you soon.
I'll get out, buddy.
All right. The rest of you go through. You are. There's a large pillar, a gate with pillars leading to a huge gate. There are jewels encrusted inside of it, and the glow is from thousands and thousands of gold coins and gems.
Damn.
There is a rumbling.
Touch nothing but the lamp.
Close.
It's Scrooge McDuck's money bin.
I need.
Is there a duck swimming?
No, of course. I knew I need to use a deep voice here. Basically, you hear a huge rumbling. Who enters the lair of the one known as Glitter? And coming out of the pile is a long neck with a huge head of golden scales. I need all of you to make a wisdom save because dragons just have a presence of frightfulness. You will get a +3 bonus, I believe, or is it 3 from Zindrick?
Yeah.
Whatever your charisma
Yeah.
bonus is.
She may also be high enough that I may have to forego it.
+4.
+4. Okay.
Oh no!
Did you fail?
It was
When-
rolling on a 20,
Uh,
and now it's an 8.
no, it's neat. Oh, same thing happened to you to what's his face?
With the +4, I get a 24.
For the +4, I get a 13.
29.
Definitely that's a pass.
Ginger, do you give a +4 to everybody?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
aura of protection.
Good to have a paladin in the party.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
so
only familiar because that's my other character.
who got below a 15? Was it Hephaestus?
HK.
Very well. All right, you're in awe of a dragon.
And do you have D&D Beyond?
Yes.
On the top bar, does it say campaign streams of Sparrow?
Yep.
You should be able to pull
Yeah.
up the log. It'll show everybody.
Show all you what?
The game log will show everybody what everybody rolls.
Only if they're rolling with
Yeah.
Only if
D&D
they're rolling.
Beyond.
But it
I
also,
am, but
Yeah. The other thing
Yeah.
too is like I'm trying to keep the screen so I can see all of you. I'm looking for facial part of it. That would have another monitor. That would be like Lee. That would be a different upgrade, so you can have all these computer lights going. I'm not.
Yeah, whenever you're within 10 feet of me, you get +4 on saves.
Okay. So basically, Hephaestus is a little bit in fear. Everybody else is fine. And then you hear a female voice go, "Oh, Glitter, I think these are friends. They have returned. I don't know how you got here, but welcome back." And you see the priestess of Apollo, Aurora. Glenn, she is a very attractive human redhead She seems to be not old for a human, but she does seem very wise for her age, and she's very stoic in her presence. She seems to have a strong aura about her, and her face is definitely very complete for that matter. And she goes, "What brings you guys here? Glitter's taking care of the protection." And Glitter goes, "Oh, these are the heroes. I see. I will let you discuss. If you need the stone, let me know." And she slithers back into the coins.
We will need it, but not right at this moment.
"Hephaestus, good to see you." She puts out her hand to shake each of you. "Oh, you have more dark elves. What happened to the other one?"
I traded it up.
This is his
Ah,
niece.
niece.
I
Ah,
introduced to you the paladin, Zindrid Senelvia.
well met.
Pleasure to meet you.
Not know your brother a whole lot, but I did come across him. Did Firebrand make it?
He will be joining us in a few days.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So what do you need?
We're going to need the stone. We're going to be taking them to the summer court shortly.
Okay.
We have the second stone, and we'll be departing as soon as it gets here.
Okay. So you're still going against the Dark Sun, right?
We are.
Awesome. Good.
Towards
Then
that end,
I did
we
some
have
research.
we have research that needs to be done. Firebrand bid us to ask you about it.
I was doing some. I figured that he was going to be a problem. So he has a huge undead power base. We have been, a friend of mine, Alec, was, I think how we came together, was seeking him because he did some damage to one of our St. Augustine companies in the past. So I think he still has a few of those in effect. He affected one of my friends with a ghost. He made one of our other fathers a vampire. But those are taken care of. So I think it's just my friend's father. We don't know exactly what is in service or somehow being used to him. But then I found a very strange legend lore about how he came into creation. Why don't we all sit down? I don't have much here for beverages, but we can all at least relax. Please sit down and I'll tell you a story, I guess. I do love stories. So, Dark Sun is not obviously this Lich's real name. It is a name that they hide, as magic can have sometimes power over that can be used by greater beings. His name is Maximor Hawkins. He comes from the Hawkins dynasty, close by here. He is the second oldest twin of the dynasty to the king of the dynasty over there. But apparently he betrayed his brother in service for his desire to his new deity, which became Hades. So that is how he became the power that he is. But there's something about other gods that are being helping him, or he's controlling to create other vessels of power. Hades looks like he knows that his power alone cannot defeat Zeus. So he's used some other alternative gods to help him with his brother Zeus. Now the other ones don't mean much. There was a name like Loki. There was something also like Bahamut or something. A few others, I'm not sure, but Silk was a name that seemed to be drawn to the champions that are around the Dark Sun now. And apparently they are champions of her as well. And there were 6 of them that this Dark Sun brought into creation from another realm. These used to be children's stories somehow, but they seem to have some way of being brought to the people here in Sparrow. And I'm not sure how. Maybe it's your Fey magic that they're becoming manifest. So his first one that he got is a Death Knight. Apparently, he once served as a commander to a famous group of a realm of great tales. I don't know, maybe some Greyheim writers. I'm not sure how that was told, but his name is Arturo Blackscar. He is going to be the cavalry of the undead that I know of. They ride nightmares, so he is a formidable huntsman and scout. He's probably the one that will probably be seeking you out first. The other that you should probably worry about, but he's more of an individual, he has been known to kill kings and great wizards. There's apparently some weird place I'm not even sure what it's called, but they call him the Grey Drake. Some assassin. I believe he has snake blood in him. Then there is this vampire lord that he has summoned to be his great general. He is the one that's been battling much in the north in power. He has apparently great noble lineage. He is a master tactician, strategist, bold knight. He is a Zarian Greystoke. Then he has wizards, a wizard, a mage that he would need great power. They are daughters to this goddess. They're helping to raise the undead, bring necromancy, evocation to destroy their enemies. The youngest daughter is known as Kiziata. The oldest daughter is that of the faith of Silk. She is the great priestess of the religion. Her name is Mystic. The last, I don't know if this will hurt your dark elf friends, but he comes from an ancient house of this old realm of the dark elves. He is a war master, one of the greatest swordsmen that have the realm, apparently, this tale says, ever known. Zindaresia la Conerian. Most of them called him Zin or Sin or something of that matter. Those are his new controlled champions, but again, the goddess had some type of development into that. So not really sure how that plays. Those are his champions. But he has one more. One that isn't really allocated to that, but one he brought back of his own from this realm. An ancient green dragon from the southern forest that I believe you guys came from. The name kind of escapes me from what it is said because it is long, but I know the dragon once inherited the forest south of Greenwood. An ancient green dragon, but long dead now. Blessed to him at Dracolich. And it is definitely very deadly.
Did you say what the name was?
No, she doesn't.
Okay. Not that I'm there, but I won't make everybody
Those
repeat
who I
it.
know that have been brought back to or been brought to this realm from another, I don't quite understand how this opening has worked. It's fascinating, really fascinating. And I'm looking to see what I can find out more. If you are to take the stone, that will allow me to go to St. Augustine's great libraries, and perhaps I can find out more for you. You're on mute.
We can certainly stand guard over it while you do that over the next few days while we wait for Firebrand.
Oh, I don't know how long it'll take. I think it'll be best if you can stay here with Glitter. That's Vervarex's mom, adopted mother, something like that. You can stay with here. I'll go up to St. Augustine, and I'll meet you in the town of Fair. You should find the people very hospitable there. I believe you need to strike to the north to fight the Dark Sun. I will make a temple there, and you'll know it. It'll be bright yellow. The sun, emblem of Apollo, will be on top of it, and I'll give you the information then.
Sounds good.
It's my honor, Lore Mistress, to meet you, and I look forward to receiving this information when you bring it.
Great. Are you guys all set? You guys are ready to take on this challenge? You need anything? You need
You should know this. The ritual and what we have known previously is not inaccurate, but it is partially different. What Dark Sun is doing is attempting to bring forth Silk and bind her, and thus use her power in his war. She is coming to this realm with or without Dark Sun. It is, if she is bound, she becomes his weapon. In stopping the ritual, we take a weapon from Dark Sun and from Hades, but this power does come through on its own regardless.
Okay. I can help do that for you. Definitely. All right. Well, I'll be back. Good luck. And she'll head off. There's a bit of a rumbling. The gold parts. I heard you were facing a lich. A vampire lord?
Among other things,
Oh.
yes.
I do despise vampires. Wretched. I see that there's one of that Aurora's faith. I trust her. I trust the faith. You, of Apollo, please come forward to me.
Oh, okay. I wasn't odd, but I'm odd.
Yes, there is holiness in Celestia with you. You will do nicely. I see when you fight these things, you have brought darkness with you. These dark elves are intriguing, but I sense a holiness different to them. There is power within them. You should trust in it, although different. But I know that you need trust as well. Your species are fickle like that. I will help you because I like what you represent. You will help it. And out comes his clawed hand, and a tiny little thing dangles from it. It's a longsword to you, but tiny to him. Take this, celestial one. You'll need it.
I will reach out and take it. And I will comment as I'm doing it. The sun must glisten brilliantly upon your scales when you're out and about under the sun.
Apollo does make me shine bright, and now he shines bright in you, celestial one.
Sun sword.
Wield your god wisely. Yes, he's just giving you the sun sword. And he goes back into the coins. And with that, we will wrap up tonight's session as we wait for our firebrand to get his new spells or knowledge, and you will set forth to travel back to the Great Fey Court and learn more from there, and protect the stones to journey forth to Undead.
What's the deal with the did you have spells about? You want me to find some spells that I want him to teach me?
Yes. So basically,
Yeah.
you can learn a spell. You can learn any spell within your spell casting ability. I will give you ability to learn basically 8 levels. So you can learn one 8-level spell, or you can learn a fraction of other spells broken down. And if there's something you can't cast yet, that is something that can be still put in your book for when you are ready to cast it. But I will allow you to foresee your future to get spells that would be a bonus when you level up. Okay.
Sounds good.
And as we speak of leveling, and you guys will need it, you will all level up as a milestone because you have found out what you're facing. You have also decided to change the course of the Drow society. So that is worth a milestone victory. Zingard, even
Nice.
though you're new, you still get the bonus because you joined the party. So yeah, everyone will get to level up. Let me find a calendar here.
Ben, you're killing me, man. All night, one after another.
I nailed everybody. I had to get you back.
I had to put myself on mute at a certain point.
We can either do the 14th or the 28th on each of the Sundays. What works for most of everybody?
For Mark?
Yes, I'm gonna try to avoid the Monday nights. These are all Sundays. I have one on. I already have a game on the 21st. I don't want to double book again.
All right.
28th is probably the better choice because I'm running a table for Drinking and Dragons on the 13th.
Okay, let's
Just
do
in
the
terms
28th.
of peace with the wife.
Yeah, 28th.
It
Yeah,
sounds good. Let's do
same
that.
reason. Good call, Glenn. Thank you. I would have missed that.